Hey y'all, what's up? It's currently 2:30 in the morning right now. I know y'all sleep, but when you wake up, how y'all doing? How was y'all day yesterday? Because it is, of course, technically Thursday today, but this is our Wednesday, conspiracy day. Um, don't forget, before we hop into this video, I post Monday through Friday, and for specific uploads, check the description or the comment section below because I've been putting it in the comment section as well too. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into these random conspiracy theory TikToks, y'all, that I came across on my For You page over there and see what they talking about.
Nor aliens that came up with this. Oh, we deep in these weeds today, Custa. Why does this 13th century cathedral have the exact same pattern on its floor as this circuit board? We're not even talking kinda similar. This is a one-to-one perfect match. And this isn't just any circuit board, but one for a specific device called a Schumann resonator. A small, low-frequency electronic device designed to generate electromagnetic radiation tuned to approximately 7.83 hertz. The exact frequency that the Earth's atmosphere vibrates at, called the Schumann resonances, or the heartbeat of the Earth. Frequencies that are said to be able to harness energy, free natural energy from the ether that these resonator devices attempt to mimic. This floor is from the Chartres Cathedral in France, built in 1220 AD. The Schumann resonances weren't discovered until the 1960s, and its related circuit board much later, yet somehow their patterns are literally identical, which could, in theory, imply that old structures like these may have been power plants that captured and transmitted these natural resonating frequencies of the Earth to power ancient societies, who possess lost esoteric knowledge of harnessing free energy from the Earth that they built all around the world. Giza pyramid power plant theories step aside. This is the world power plant theory. And the more we look, the more we see it everywhere. Repeating patterns in ancient sites around the world that almost precisely resemble computer circuit boards. From ancient Egyptian cities to those in ancient Mexico. From a bird's eye view, they all have very similar, extremely structured, grid-like layouts to them that really do look like modern electronics. These are some insanely calculated measurements here, which they would never do just at random. Here's an aerial view of the ancient ruins in... oh, wait, no, never mind. That's just a dusty motherboard. This is an Egyptian pyramid next to a microprocessor, and the layout of an Osirian temple beside a computer chip. Now, I'm not saying this is real, just another insane rabbit hole that I'm laying out for you. But now, what if it was neither humans, nor past civilizations, nor even aliens that designed this? I'ma let this meme right here do the explaining, because this might kinda blow your mind. The life cycle of AI. First, humanity gets advanced enough to be able to research AI, as we have been doing for the past few decades. Then we perfect AI, and I think we can agree we're slowly or maybe quickly getting there. Then AI perfects itself, followed by AI enslaving humanity, forcing us to build its energy gathering components into the greatest source of power we have available, the Earth itself. As we see with all those structures and precise mathematical layouts of ancient sites resembling circuit boards. It wasn't aliens, it wasn't some long-lost advanced civilization, it wasn't interdimensional beings, it was AI that built the pyramids. If AI ever manages to perfect itself and then take over humanity, we can all assume its next logical step would be to conquer the entire Earth as its own. What better way to conquer it than harnessing the Earth's natural energy for its own use, by building its hardware directly into its surface, until an inevitable solar flare disables AI, like, I don't know, the mighty Zeus throwing a powerful thunderbolt at it, freeing humanity from its grip of enslavement, which in turn causes humanity to then worship the sun in the form of sun gods for saving them, repurposing the pyramids and structures that powered AI for simple human needs like tombs. And the cycle of human civilization repeats as we technologically evolve over the next millennia just to create AI all over again. Of course, this is purely speculation, a wild theory that may or may not be true, but hey, that's what internet rabbit holes are all about now, aren't they?
Y'all want to know what's crazy about that? So, y'all know I tell y'all all the time, like, this is the type of stuff I've been into, and my mind be going places like that, thinking like, I don't know, deep, or I guess it's natural for me as an overthinker since I was, a child, right? But what's crazy about this is one of the like random, many random conversations I've had with my husband, like when we were younger, right back in high school. I remember this like it was yesterday. We was talking on the phone, and I forgot how we got on the conversation. Ain't no telling with me, literally, because I be all over the place. But I was telling him how I believe that like ancient, you know what I'm saying, societies or whatever, like Egypt and all of that is more advanced or was more advanced than we are now. And I remember him telling me like, no, they not. Like, why would you think that, Danielle? Like, and I was like, well, think about it. For one, they still can't really figure out how they built the pyramids. I personally just never believed or could wrap my mind around the whole concept of what they say. It was just a whole bunch of people pulling the bricks or whatever up there. And I'm just like, I get it. People are like, oh, you'd be surprised how many, people and that's enslaved or hungry. I don't look. I just never believed that. It just never made sense. And they just too tall, right? Um, but I told him, I said, what if there was like this catastrophic event that happened that kind of like wiped out all of their technology and everything? So it's kind of like everything, you know what I'm saying, restarted or whatever. So like if the technology is lost and like I said, like say some type of like, I don't know, crazy natural disaster or whatever that happened that just kind of wiped everything out or whatever, right? Like the technology and stuff we have right now, if something was to happen, and it just wiped some type of crazy major storm or whatever, right? Was to just wipe out everything that we have, like all of our technology and stuff. The next civilization that came would think that they were the first ones to discover and come up with these inventions. Now, y'all know, again, I've been telling y'all, a lot of these sayings that we have are not just sayings, and one of them, it's truth to it or whatever, right? It's true. Like one of them is when they say there's nothing new under the sun. You come up with an invention. I always say I want to come up with an invention before I, you know what I'm saying, up out of here, right? I always tell my family that. And I be coming up with inventions, y'all, and I go look it up and see that it's either already um been invented or they working on it or whatever, right? So the point that I'm making is it's almost like, yeah, there's no such thing as a new thought. Literally. Like you be thinking you coming up with something, or you thinking of something new. Somebody done already thought about it. Again, like I told y'all, growing up, one thing my mom and them used to tell us when we try to be slick as kids, what you didn't already try, I done already done. You get what I'm saying? I'm already onto your tricks. So the point that I'm making is because see, I'm about to get off track or whatever, lose my train of thought. But the point that I am making is another thing that I've always said is because we are so like curious as humans, and of course we want to keep pushing to the next thing and advance and advance and advance. And I was just like, we gonna be like humans gonna be the ones to like, you know what I'm saying, be our own downfall. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, wars and all of that. But you get what I'm saying, like, so it's like with this whole AI thing, and I ain't gonna act like I ain't never used, you know what I'm saying, Chat GPT or nothing like that. But with this whole AI thing, it's like we can all clearly see where this can possibly go. You get what I'm saying? Like as it keeps advancing and getting better and better and stuff. So yeah, and they say, I know my mama told me, she was like, all previous civilizations or whatever, if you believe in this type of thing, because I be having like these deep conversations with my mom or whatever, especially now that I'm like grown and stuff. But she always tells me that like every ancient civilization, you know what I'm saying, their downfall was technology. So like I said, if you believe in that type of thing, another thing I told y'all, they be dropping gems in anime. There's this anime called Eden Zero, right? And it's Eden Zero. I watched it like a long time ago, and if I'm not mistaken, they're like in the same like type of world as um Fairy Tale. So the guy who wrote Fairy Tale wrote Eden Zero. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure. But I watched this a long time ago. But basically, this boy was like, he was the only person like left on, what was it, his planet or something. Like, so they like revolve around like the same type of universe as Fairy Tale. But yeah, it was just all robots, and he was like the last human left or whatever. But look, they say it's more to them pyramids, that the way that they like aligned them is just too accurate. You get what I'm saying? Especially for if they were supposed to be a lot less civilized than us and weren't as smart and weren't as technologically advanced as we are today, although I'm like, we still ain't built no pyramids, you know what I'm saying? But we more advanced than them. Like, they can barely build homes today. But that wasn't always a thing. They just, I don't know, in the last like decade or so, I don't know, these, like I said, these homes been apparently falling apart because people just being lazy, don't know what they doing, cutting corners. But another thing too is me, like a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying, that may come across this video or whatever, or will come across this video. I've always, growing up, I've always only, pretty much when I thought about pyramids, I've always only thought about Egypt, right? Because when they would talk about pyramids, they always were referencing, or it was always a reference about Egypt. You know what I'm saying? They was always talking about Egypt. So you get older, and like a lot of us say, you learn a lot of stuff that you didn't learn in school. Or I guess maybe you just was not paying attention to, because you know my ADD shit. I ain't gonna act like I was just up in there paying attention like that either. You know, my mind be up in there daydreaming. You get what I'm saying? But there's pyramids all around the world, literally. How did how did we know to even be building, and what was the significance? Why were we building pyramids all around the world like that? So the theory he talking about, you know what I'm saying, like to using these pyramids to power the plant, they look like a motherboard from a computer and all of that. That actually makes more sense than us just thinking that these people just from different places of the world just randomly building pyramids. It don't make that never made sense. That don't make sense. Oh, they was building them because of what they gonna say? I don't know, the religion they practiced, or it was something sacred to them. Like, it's something more to it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that makes a lot of sense to me, to be honest. Like, say, call me tripping, call me crazy, but like I said, it's always something. I realize it's always something more to it than what they're telling us. So, hey.
Good evening, soldiers. This is General Savat with another transmission. At ease, soldiers. Before we get into this, everything I'm about ready to say.
And another thing too. First of all, how is it that they know or knew? It ain't even that they knew to build these structures like this to even look like a motherboard. Actually, it would be us copying them. We're, you know what I'm saying, building computers, you know what I'm saying, like the circuit boards and all the motherboards and all of that, circuit boards and all that stuff to look like the inside of these pyramids and these different things that they built in ancient civilizations, because we got the idea from them, because they came before us. So it's not them getting the idea from us. How did they know that? You know what I'm saying? So look, I be saying all the time, these elites, these folks that be building this stuff and doing this stuff, y'all, they know more than they be leading on, and more than what they be telling us. First of all, the whole thing with the energy of the earth, when y'all hear them talk about that, that stuff is real. I don't care what nobody say. Energy is real. If you don't know nothing else, we all know at this point, I feel like energy is real. I am a energy type of person. I am very good at picking up on different types of energies and stuff. I've always been like that even since I was a child. Actually, I think most, if not shoot, all kids, but most kids pick up on energies. They'll pick up, a lot of times a kid will pick up on something about somebody that you don't even, you know what I'm saying, pick up on. And I'm not talking about the kid that's just like that shy kid or whatever, or just be acting like that, you know what I'm saying, around everybody other than like their parents or something. I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, like they usually are very like bubbly, loving, like, hey type of kid, you know what I'm saying, talking to folks or whatever. And then it's just this one person that come around, you notice your kid energy kind of shift, and be looking at them like, yeah. So yeah, and I feel like most people, when we become adults, we kind of lose that. For me, I just never lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I'm the type of person, I pick up on a lot of stuff. Um, and I just don't say nothing. I literally just got done talking to my husband earlier yesterday, when he got up, when I hopped off the live with y'all, about how people don't. I've realized that a lot of stuff that, you know, myself, and a lot of other people that can relate to this, right? I be peeping. I be expecting other people to be peeping it, because to me it's obvious. So when other people not peeping it, I be looking at them like, y'all not peeping this, like y'all not picking up on this? Like, and he was like, yeah, you be feeling like the oddball out or whatever. And I'm like, people don't even realize that you could be having a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with somebody, or you from the outside looking in. You can be watching somebody have a conversation or whatever with each other. And you know, energy. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say, but energy wise, right? Um, they can be having a whole separate conversation without even, you know what I'm saying, speaking. So they could be saying one thing, but then underneath the surface, it's a whole other conversation that they having. If y'all get what I'm trying to say, my bad. But yeah, energy is real. Everything has energy or all of that. That stuff is real, y'all, for real. So it's so crazy. Like I said, these are things that I've always, you know, kind of felt, and I feel like and been curious about and kind of known even since I was a child. That's why I always tell y'all too, the spirit knows. The spirit knows. And as we move throughout life or whatever, right, and get busy with like maybe home, you know, home life or whatever, family and work and all of that, you kind of forget that. So we kind of get away from our foundation. Like I said, like in connecting with the earth and all of that. I don't want to get too deep with y'all on that. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of stuff I want to talk to y'all about on here. But this stuff is real. This stuff is real. It's crazy just seeing more. And, you know, not even too long ago, like I would say what, maybe the past decade or so, you talking about stuff like this, you would have been labeled crazy. You would have been labeled crazy. So you had to just kind of keep this stuff, you know what I'm saying, to yourself, or maybe talk to your close friends or family members about it or whatever, right? But in today's time, we are seeing a lot more people, even people that didn't even believe it at first. Some of you might be talking to people that, you know what I'm saying, once upon a time, you talked to them about this type of stuff before, and they was like, nah, you crazy, crazy. And they starting to come around. People are starting to become more aware of the stuff. People are starting to realize, like, it's more than what we just see on the surface. Like I said, like, this stuff, all this conspiracy theory stuff, I'm not saying every conspiracy is true, but every conspiracy is not wrong either. Like,
is false. It's not true. It's for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't want to keep skipping it, but again, y'all know they say the truth is stranger than fiction. Another one of them sayings.
We're just telling a story. I'm just making it up. I don't even know what this is. So we're going to speak in heavy code, but not really, because I don't even know what code is. Let's begin. Fern. Okay? Crash course. I don't know what fern is, but by the time I finish this, hopefully you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about fern, okay? Just a little bit of a hint. Remove the F and put A, B. You know what I'm talking about. Run number 1 was between the years of 2009 and 2013. And what happened? The swine flew plane. Okay, when I mean flu, I don't mean FLU. I'm talking about flu, like a plane. Okay, that's what happened as soon as they opened up that one portal. But what is a portal? I don't know what a portal is. Let's keep it moving. Earthquake in high tide. I don't know what high tide is, but I do have a friend that lived in Haiti. Great people there. In fact, TikTok, I love Haiti. Run number 2. Happened between the years of 2015 and 2018. Again, another portal, but I don't know what a portal is. What is that? Is it web portal or something like that? Let's keep it moving. When that portal was open, talking about a web portal, Zika, a good friend of mine in high school by the name of Zika, great person. We played tennis together. I love tennis. Do you love tennis? That's what happened when that web portal was open. Okay. Also, Kovisha, that's my best friend that I've known for so long, 20 years. Great person. Kovisha. In fact, we even dated at a time. Kovisha. I don't know what we talking about, but I mean web portal. Web portal. I'm talking about www. You know what I'm saying? That web portal, right? Okay, let's keep her moving. Run number 3, 2022 to 2026. That's what we in right now. www.portal, right? Let's keep her moving. Fanta Virusi. That's a name brand. I don't even know what we're talking about again. In fact, I think somebody had it at the Met Gala. It was the Fanta Virusi. I don't know, something also it happened in Spain. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm just saying that's what's currently happening. And I don't even know what we're talking about something currently happening. What are you talking about? Let's keep it moving. Then also AI. I love ChatGPT. I like using Claude. I like using artificial intelligence. They're awesome, but it's just so funny that we're coming up to a time, 2026, when Fern is about ready to shut down. So is something coming in June or July when they're supposed to shut down? Again, I don't know what we're talking about. When I mean portal, I'm talking about maybe the internet's about to be shut down. I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but let's keep it moving.
And hasn't it been reports of people just in different states? I know it happened over, what I'm saying, here a couple times, that people are like, oh, my Wi-Fi or the internet, has been down or whatever, it's just going out all of a sudden. I don't know, maybe we reaching, but I'm just saying.
Finally, after the shutdown, they coming back in the year 2029/2030, which is, hey, everybody, climate goals, make sure you're doing everything that you possibly can as far as sustainability. We've got the ice wall. Crap, I'm sorry, I didn't mean ice wall. I'm saying global warming. There's things that are melting, okay? So we all need to do our part. All right, TikTok, I'm trying to tell everybody, we need to do our part as far as global warming. There's no such thing as Semyaza and Azazel talking about what's going to happen behind the ice wall and CERN and Abaddon and what? I gotta go.
How would you describe the experience?
Let me tell you something. Like I said, for the longest, they had people out here thinking, oh, conspiracy theory. They're crazy. The doomsday people. For a long time, I remember this even since I was a kid, because doomsday people ain't just pop out of nowhere and start being around. Y'all remember hearing them people get talked about? Like maybe so-and-so neighbor or whatever, always that person got everything stocked in the garage or whatever. Always that type of person, like, what I'm saying, like doing different things to prepare for doomsday. These elites are even building underground bunkers and stuff. They got people. I think I remember hearing, didn't Kim Kardashian have to go to court because her neighbors had a problem with her trying to build an underground bunker or something like that? If I remember correctly, at one of her homes or whatever. Why are they building underground bunkers? Y'all, these people know something that we don't. They prepping for something. And I definitely think that, in my opinion, these storms, because I thought it is man-made, because after a while, it's like, and they always happen to be like in certain areas most of the time. Like, come on, predominantly black areas, although we brown, they call us black, but I'm gonna say black for, what I'm saying, so the folks don't get confused in the back or whatever. But hey, the weather already been real crazy lately, so
I know that's going to be hard to do because some of my friends have done it, and when you ask them to describe it, it seems to be quite abstract.
Yeah, it's like if we had some two-dimensional creatures that were living on this piece of paper right here on the table, and one of those creatures figured out that he can smoke some DMT, and that somehow enabled us to peel this two-dimensional creature to where it could see in 3 dimensions and see everything in this room. That's DMT. You're getting peeled out of reality into some other realm. And the weird thing is, every scientist that I know that's studying DMT, not one of them thinks it's a hallucination.
What do they think it is?
I think the more familiar someone is with DMT, the less certain they are about what the hell's going on. But everyone, literally everyone who uses DMT pretty much goes to the same exact places. And they all meet the same entities, the same 7 or 8 different types of entities. And it's been the same for 4,500 years of recorded history with DMT. And DMT is something we make in our own body. It's an endogenous chemical.
Has it changed your perception of what reality really is?
100%. Yeah. It's so much more real than this reality. It's like, it's so ineffable. There are no words that can describe it. But it's 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times more real than this, in such a way that just coming back to this feels like everything is kind of claymation for a little while.
Claymation?
Or just fake, like a cartoon of some kind. It's just really low resolution. And I come back with no certainty about anything. And I think everybody comes back with that lack of certainty. You're not coming back and be like, I saw this exact thing and here's what it means and here's how the universe is created and all of that. But you go up there and you come back and you're like, something about this plane doesn't feel real anymore. And that is a permanent shift that's hard for some people to make. And you can't unsee that you were kind of able to poke your head out of the side door of the Truman Show and look out backstage for a little while.
So has it made you believe that this isn't real? This reality that we're living in now is not real?
We'd have to define real. But how would you define real?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that's
You
why
can
I
see
paused.
it, you can touch it, you can measure it, you can taste it, smell it. Would that be real?
Do you think we're living in a simulation?
Then we'd have to define simulation. Because I think every society has this hubris of the universe is whatever's cool to us right now. Electricity came out, the universe was energy. Industrial Revolution came out, the whole universe was a giant machine. And right now everybody says, oh, that we just discovered computers, the universe must be a computer. It's like the hubris of every generation. What I mean by simulation, I think, like, is it rendered in some way by something? I study this stuff all day, every day of my life. And I think that the more discoveries we have in particle physics and quantum mechanics, the more they're proving the Hermetic principles right.
What's that?
These are the 7 ancient principles of this guy named Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth, like an Egyptian guy. They're confused about his name. But he's like, he wrote these first 2 principles are the most important. The first one is all is mind.
All is mind.
All is mind. The all is mind. The universe is mental. And then the second one is as above, so below.
I believe it. Y'all ever thought this happened to me so many times, and for the longest time, I used to try and like act like it wasn't real. But have y'all ever thought about something and then it happens? That's why they say you got to be careful about what you think about and what you say. You say something when it happened.
And here's how I explained this to my son a couple of days ago. I said, have you ever had a dream where there's like a building in the dream? Maybe there's a house in front of you. And what are you looking at the house with? And he's like, well, my eyes. I said, why? Which eyes are they? Are they your eyes that you're seeing the house with? And he said, no, because you're imagining your own set of eyes to see the house with in your dream. Your eyes aren't there. Your body isn't there. So you're imagining the whole body and the world. And I said, what's the distance between you and that house in your dream? And he said, 30 feet. I said, what is the air made out of between you and the house? And he said, air. And I said, you have air in your dreams? Is it real air? And he said, no, it's my brain. And I said, so is there distance between you and the house? He said, no. What's the house made out of? Me. What's the air made out of? Me. The entire thing is me. The ground I'm standing on, the house, the clouds in the sky. So in a dream, you can verifiably prove that something is real. You can test it, you can touch it, and all of that, and the perception of it is very much real. So the theory now, and I don't have any certainty about this, but one interesting theory that I've heard from many different neuroscientists is like, if we look at as above, so below, like a universe spins like a DNA double helix. You can zoom in on a human eyeball and it looks the same as a nebula. What if dreams are this level 1, and this is like level 2 of that, where we're hallucinating distance. We're hallucinating. And I think that whatever the case is, I have no idea. I have no theories about it myself. But whatever the case is, I do think that separation is the greatest lie ever told to the entire world. Of like you are separate from that person, like this, you are separate from this. And how people say, I need to go spend time in nature. Like, you are nature. Like, that's part of who you are. You're made out of that stuff. You're made out of that.
If it's something in your life that you
All I know is, I done already told y'all, based off my own experiences, dreams are real. They're not just dreams. And I believe that the people you see in your dreams are real people. Again, based on my own experiences, somewhere in the world. That's why y'all hear people talk about all the time. They've met people in their dreams before they meet them in real life. They not lying to y'all. They not lying to y'all. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm telling you, it's just certain stuff. I used to be I just be thinking about that'll just come to me. It's literally insane. I ain't even gotta be actively. I could be actively doing something else, and certain stuff just come to me. I'll be thinking about. I think I told y'all this before. A couple years ago, I randomly. It's like I almost had an epiphany. I randomly, was talking to my husband again about how there's more to just dreams. And again, based off my own experiences, I know this. Dreams are not just dreams. Like I'm telling you.
Thinking about, watch this video. Yes, right there. That thought that you had as soon as I said overthinking, that's, yes, what you're
That's
thinking
me.
of right now.
I'm
Yes.
always
That's
overthinking.
exactly why you need to sit and watch this video. I watched the video from a Shaolin King, Shaolin Masters. Y'all know his name more than me, but he said something that was beautiful. He said, we can sit and watch a horror movie and we never question why we are amused with a horror film, something so scary. But the truth about it is, we know it's a film. We know it's a movie. So we don't take it too serious. You get what I'm saying? We can sit there and indulge into something that's gruesome and fucking terrifying because we know on the back end we're just watching something. You get where I'm leading? And then he said something about an amusement park. People can drop from 1,000 fucking feet in the air and drop at crazy speeds. Guts literally lifted up. Your guts in your head at this point as you falling down. The scariest shit ever. But you had fun. You're amused by this terror. Why? Because you know subconsciously that this is a machine that thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people have been in, and this is built to do exactly what it's doing. I'm safe. I want to let you know something right now. The difference relies when the safety is gone. You wouldn't watch a horror movie if you had to literally live the horror movie and go to the crazy, scary ass house. You at the movie theaters covering your eyes because you scared of a jump scare. What if you was really in that? There would be two total different. There would be no amusement going on there, and the only reason is because one of them you're taking serious and the other one you're not. That's literally it. Like, I hope you weren't looking for a complicated answer. One of them you're taking serious and one of them you're not. The same situation. When you look at the depths of reality, it's something so easy that concludes this entire perspective. And it's the fact that you're going to die one day. And you're going to be old. No matter how old you are, you probably got about, 30, 40 years left of this youth. And if you're in your 40s, you probably got about, 50, 60 years max before you're, getting real 6 feet deep. I hope that hits hard. And I hope it makes you cling more, not cling, but I hope it makes you immerse more into the present moment because you understand that this is temporary. And no matter how embarrassed I am, it's temporary. No matter how much I achieve, how much money I give, it's temporary. I got to get my game chips back at the end of the game. No matter who I fall in love with, got to let her go at the end of the game. No matter how many shoes, money, clothes, hoes, drugs, I got to give it back. That alone, the awareness of death, will make you immerse more into this beautiful temporary film of life because at the root of it, none of it matters.
Oh my God. I
Besides,
say that all the time. I say that all the time. Like when you come to the realization that like none of this matter for real. Like these 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 relationships and stuff you be trying to hold on to, or maybe you done got your heart broken and all of that. It's like at the root of it, like it don't at the end of, it don't even matter for at the end of the day when it's all said and done.
it's the context that you add on it. None of it truly matters. And I feel like that is a perspective that can demolish overthinking. Because overthinking can make you really feel some type of way about yourself. You'll view yourself different until you realize, like, damn, look right and left. I'm observing a fucking external projection of consciousness as the awareness. There truly is nothing that can happen to me because I'm not the individual that's going through this life. I'm the one aware of it. Have fun. And enjoy this temporary fucking movie. Every chapter of it. Stop clinging. This too shall pass. Peace and love to conscious, man. 3K out.
I like this like the second time I came across one of his videos. I need to go check out his what's it call it? I like his videos. Cause I be like, see, we here with it, right? But I love the way he said that, right? I did one of the first videos I did on this channel when I first created this channel was I was telling y'all how realized that I am a overthinker and it can be annoying. Like I will literally think of a great idea, think of something to do. Sorry, y'all. And then I'll follow right up instantly with all the ways that it can go wrong. And I will literally overthink my way out of doing what it is that I want to do. And I'm in a way a perfectionist too. Like that's what took me even so long to come outside of like being tired, because like I've been needing at least like a good year, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, start getting back to the groove of like, you know what I'm saying, things, whatever, and really just taking care of myself and taking time, you know what I'm saying, for myself after just having a baby, because I'd be so, you know what I'm saying, immersed in, you know what I'm saying, with my kids or whatever, right? A new baby, all of that, right? Figuring out a new routine, a new schedule or whatever, right? With them. But the point that I'm making is a part of that as well too. I was like, no, I gotta do it this way. And I said I'm gonna post these days, so I wanna do it this way. That like everything be having to be perfect. Like, for instance, you wanna start a YouTube channel and then you like, oh well, but you all you got is your phone, right? But then you'll be like, oh, well, no, I can't use my phone. I gotta have this type of camera and I need to make sure I have this mic and I need to have this I need to have this my bad, y'all. What they call it, type of tripod. All of you start, you know what I'm saying, creating all these extra little problems as to why you can't start it. All these extra things that you need as to why you can't start it. And it's like, just start with what you have. Like, stop overthinking it. Just start with what you have. Start with where you at, right? And a lot of times that comes from the fear of failure as well too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't want y'all to get nothing else from my channel, that's something that I feel like we all at some point deal with. Is just like, just do it. Just do it. That if my, you know what I'm saying, like that's one of the things I really, really want my kids to be able to, you know what I'm saying, understand and, you know what I'm saying, actually apply to their life. Just do it. Like, who cares? If don't be afraid of being embarrassed. Don't be afraid of failing. Like, at least you did it. I would rather, like they say all the time, and this is true, you would rather have at least tried it, you know what I'm saying, and then maybe you might fail at it, than never had tried it. You know what I'm saying? The thought being in your mind, you never even tried to apply it. You never even tried to, you know what I'm saying, do it. So just do it. Like, whatever it is you want to do, man, do it. Like he said, life, technically for humans, shoot, it's short. Like, I'm saying for humans, like it's animals out here with immortality or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? Life is short. We all know that we going up out of here one day. So just do it. Shoot. Some of us know that I don't want to get too deep into this, but man, 2025 is one of them years for me personally where you ever hear somebody say, I'll never forget the year such and such. 2025 was that year for me, man. Some just unexpected, unfortunate things happened in my life that was literally like out of nowhere. Um, One, you know what I'm saying, me and my husband, we welcomed a new child into this world, right? That was a good thing. That was a high, right? And then um you know what I'm saying, some months after that or whatever, I lost two in the same month, and in my birth month at that, which kind of had me like looking like, what? Yeah, boy, something like that could have. If I wasn't as mentally strong, I'm telling you, it could have a person spiraling, right? But two very close people to me, I'm not gonna say who they were because I honestly don't even have the strength to be able to tell my oldest, especially the second person, he actually know who this person is. I don't even think I would tell him until he like a teenager or something, to be honest. Because I don't want to, it's not just about breaking his innocence, but like I feel like I would be hurting him in a way. You know what I'm saying? Tell him, it's like, how do you tell a child that? I was even talking to my mom about it. But I lost two very important people and I'm very, very close with to me, right? In the same month, which is my birth month, and on my birth month as well too. So my husband went on deployment. Literally, he left for deployment on my birthday, and then not too long, he was out there for like what, maybe a week or two, and then he came back, and of course he coming back. My mama called me, and then find out that the first person that I'm close to, you know, they passed, and then it was like a week after that, the second person, you know what I'm saying, the family that I'm really even closer to past. So I was saying all that to say this, y'all. We be overthinking stuff, and we be so worried about like all these things that literally don't even matter. And a lot of people not even making it to old age. You get what I'm saying? People out here passing away young, whether that be to like a disease or maybe like some what do you call it, like petty crime or whatever, like a senseless act of violence. Like, just man, I don't want to go on the rant too much, y'all. Just do what it is that y'all want to do. Just do what it is that y'all want to do. Stop overthinking that stuff, man. Because it don't, all this extra stuff we be overthinking about, it don't even matter.
Shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm about to tell you. The Epstein files were released. Thousands of women sharing their stories publicly. Not a single fucking politician, not a single fucking puppet in the show has seen any fucking consequences. Maybe a slap on the wrist, alright? I'm gonna tell you, I'm fucking nobody, okay? I'm sitting in my fucking bedroom. It's a fucking mess. It's 12 p.m. where I'm at right now. I'm scrolling on TikTok, right? I don't consume on social media anymore because I crashed the fuck out like I am right now. These puppet masters holding the fucking strings, right? Everybody at the top, right? Planned this shit. They were so calculated with this shit that they convinced women globally to dress like absolute fucking sluts, to take all of their clothes off and walk around the streets like it's normal. Again, I'm nobody. I was groomed by a pedophile, also a nobody. He was 22 years old. I saw a video the other day, 12 men arrested from an online sting. The youngest was 21 years old. Tell me how they're getting younger and younger, how they're not getting any fucking consequences, 20 years max. When any normal person with a fucking brain, with a brain cell, would say, hang that motherfucker in the streets where everybody can see it. They get 10 to 20 years and get out 3 years on good behavior. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Back to my point, convince women globally to completely go against what God's example was, of women especially. Let's bring spirituality into it because this fucking matters. We have 13, 14, 10-year-olds walking around the streets like fucking porn stars, right? Wearing lingerie to the beach like it's normal. Giving men exactly what the fuck they want because men only think about sex. They only want sex. That's it, period. Biologically, you can Google search that. And now having access to it 25 fucking 8, any second of the day, any time they think about it, they want it, it doesn't matter, they have it. Accessible to them anytime, anywhere. Billboards, malls, walking down the street, young boys being exposed younger.
No, they literally say like what you was talking about the billboard thing. Sex sells.
Younger every single year. You can also Google search that. And the reason for all of this globally was to create weak men globally, to weaken our men and keep us absolutely complicit. What can we do with a globe full of weak ass men because they're so addicted to pornography because they get exactly what they want?
I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube because she's saying a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, you be saying all that. I don't, because my first time watching these videos, of course, because I'm reacting to them, I want to give my real raw reaction. So I don't really watch them. I just, maybe see a little snippet of it, and then I see like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like conspiracy video, and then boom, save it or whatever, and then I just, compile it.
Always have what they want. Women too. We get all the comforts we could ever want. And yet we are all miserable. We are all miserable because we're just playing their stupid fucking game and we just keep going along with the shit that we're consuming every fucking day. And then they come out and tell us that they are eating children and we are doing absolutely nothing about it. And that we're gonna do nothing about it because they just have sold us comforts for the past 150 years. My platform is still small. I will make fucking sure that it keeps growing so that I can keep talking about this shit because I am actually angry. And the fact that every fucking person, every single nobody like me, like you, is not angry, and we have the ability to share globally, to come together and fucking construct something to stop this fucking madness that's only going to get worse. Now we know, and we're doing nothing about it. Can't go uphill from here. Can't. If you have not realized by this point that the governments globally, that politicians globally, that politics in general is absolute bullshit, that Hollywood is fucking
Right. This is not just no American thing either, y'all. These people is on this together.
bullshit. You're fucking cooked, bro. You're cooked. You have no brain cells. You have kept up with no real news whatsoever. Now it's up to my fucking generation to do some shit about it because a millennial told me once. Maybe he's a fucking boomer. He told me once, come up with some ideas. Alright, well here I am. Let's hear some fucking ideas because I keep telling people let's stop paying taxes and everybody's too fucking scared. They can't arrest us all. They can't arrest us all. And I guarantee you watching this, you're not going to be arrested. Stop paying your fucking taxes. In the
Yeah, she right. Yeah, we scared to, you know what I'm saying, be one of the first couple people out here to stop paying taxes. She ain't lying. Yeah, we are. Because it's like, you got to be banking on everybody to really stand with you. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't trying to go to jail. I'm not trying to go to jail and see Bubba and be fighting for my, you know what I'm saying? So, because people will say they'll do, you know what I'm saying, one thing, oh yeah, let's do this, and then they don't do it. They back out. Now I'm in jail with Bubba. Because I done sat up and I paid my taxes. And y'all was supposed to be right behind me with the bull. But nah, for real though, that's how they get us. Like, we too afraid to, like, you know what I'm saying, really stick together, come together, make these type of moves. Because we, you know what I'm saying, the people, we're the majority. Like,
Constitution, it says it is the people's responsibility.
now, I want to speak to that, you know what I'm saying, video. She was just saying, you know, some more as well too. What I was saying was, one, yeah, these governments, you know what I'm saying, these politicians, these elites, y'all, these people is all in bed together doing this sick shit, and it's always some concerning some kids. I literally have on some Let's Talk videos that I want to talk to y'all about, but I'm trying to wait until, I don't know if I want to, like, wait until we get into the new place. I'm still gonna do videos on Fridays, but these in particular videos that I want to talk to y'all about because I'm so passionate about it. And the reason I'm saying that, like, I don't know if I want to wait until we get into the new house to do it is because, like, I get passionate and I can get a little loud, okay? And in the new house, me and my husband is trying to have like a extra bedroom to make our dedicated office or whatever. And, you know, I could just put those little proofing things up and just, you know what I'm saying, close the door so I don't wake my family up at night as I'm, you know what I'm saying, talking about these topics. Cause you know, my family know I get to talking about something I'm passionate about, whether it's concerning race, you know what I'm saying, especially, you know what I'm saying, about my folks and the kids, you know what I'm saying, as a mother and just as a human being, I can get a little loud. And it's not because, like, it's not to be mean or nothing, it's just because I'm passionate about it. And like I said, it's always something coming out with these folks concerning some kids. These some sick that we talking about. And when you understand what this stuff was built off of, you will stop being surprised. It never went anywhere. They just made laws, kind of like saving face, saying that, oh, you can't do this. You can't marry kids anymore. You can't you know what I'm saying, be doing, you know what I'm saying, with kids anymore. You know what I'm saying? But they still doing it. They make saying it's illegal for you to do it. These, in my opinion, these people is in the background. I don't even know if I gotta say in my opinion at this point. It's like she's saying with the whole Epstein file thing. But these people in the background, they're doing it. They're doing it. They literally doing it and practicing the same shit they made illegal and say that you can't do. And I'm not saying that to say like, oh, why you can't do it. Nobody should be doing this sick shit. That's what I'm saying. I told y'all these folks make laws. They do shit. They hide behind a moral reason as to why they be doing some shit. But it be some sinister in the background as to why they really doing it. And then also as well as them doing the very same shit they said is wrong for you to do. One of the topics that I want to talk about is one, why I decided to pull my, you know what I'm saying, kids. Well, really my oldest, because he's the only one at school age right now. But and obviously I plan on homeschooling, you know what I'm saying, my other kids or whatever, right? Always wanted to homeschool my kids. Always say this, the only reason, I'm gonna say it again when I actually talk about this topic. And like I said, I might wait to get to the next house. But the only reason I decided to let him go because of, you know, his speech delay. And my mom was saying he need that peer-to-peer learning kids actually like to learn and pick up quicker, you know what I'm saying, from being around other kids consistently. He was the only child for the longest. And he did, you know what I'm saying? Like even his private speech therapy lessons, he wasn't really, and I would go in there like, what are you doing that different than what I'm doing? He still wasn't really picking it up like that till he was like at school all day around other kids consistently and was picking it up like that. I noticed when my second one, I was so afraid of him having a, you know what I'm saying, speech issue because I had, you know what I'm saying, because it happened with my first. Man, my middle child, our middle child, he's 2. He be talking so good. He's so smart. All my kids are smart. But he be talking so, I'm just saying like speech wise, I was worried about it. Man, he be talking so good. And I noticed that, you know, when I try and like teach him something, he'll, you know what I'm saying, listen, I'm talking about like when he was like younger, you know, like 1 and, you know what I'm saying, like 8 months, 9 months or whatever, right? And I be trying to get him to say something. He'll just be looking at me. His big brother can come in the room and say it. And he'll say it just like that, pick up on it just like that. But I don't want to go off on that tangent too much. Y'all know I can go off on a tangent. My bad. Let me reel it back in because I'm saving it. But the point that I'm making is y'all need to get y'all kids, and I'm going to say this again when I talk about this topic. These schools is another one. Y'all better get y'all affairs in order and get y'all kids up out these schools. That's another one that I've been picking up on for a long time, even before I even had kids. These schools is another way that they also get into our kids, and it ain't hard because I get it. I'm not saying if you send your kid to school, you a bad parent because you know what I'm saying. Most parents, you gotta work. You gotta go outside the house and work. You gotta be able to put food on the table. But a lot of these systems and stuff that they set in place and they didn't put up is by design. It's on purpose, and it's not for the reason that you think it is. I gotta say that for another topic. That's another one. The point I'm making is, like I said, these schools is another way they get into these kids. Some stuff always coming out about these folks and these elites, and it's always something concerning some damn women and some kids. Didn't they say trafficking is like I don't even know why I'm cutting out what I'm saying. Shoot, because at this point she said some stuff that I don't think that we can even be saying over here on YouTube. But didn't they say that trafficking is like $1 billion industry? Y'all think them is just all just regular folks just kidnapping women and children? Who the hell is they selling them to for it to be $1 billion industry? To have that much money? Who do y'all think they selling them to that's paying them that much money? These ain't regular people with this type of money to be buying these damn women and children. These are rich people with money. Come on. I'm telling y'all, you got remember with this stuff. That's why I say you got to remember the past. I'm telling you, because it'll literally help you be able to like see, you know what I'm saying, the present for what it really is and what's really going on out here, and even, you know what I'm saying, possible things to happen or that can continue even on in the future. This stuff ain't nothing new. They just kept doing the same six they've been doing long time ago, barbaric a long time ago. They just hiding it. That's all. They're just hiding it. Keep hearing about this.
Good morning,
Palm
everybody.
Beach
This
thing.
is Palm Beach Pete.
He do look like
from Palm Beach, Florida. I'm so not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just me being me. I'm Peter from Palm Beach. Have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. He's a very bad person. What he did, obviously, and he is dead, and I'm alive. Good morning, everybody. Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. I'm not that really bad guy, Jeffrey Epstein.
You're not Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete.
Have you and Jeffrey Epstein ever been in contact?
Never.
That's a little bit deceptive there.
Okay, I get it. Are you a fan of pizza?
I love pizza. Maybe some spicy honey, too.
Is that code word?
What was the question? What was the question?
Are you a fan of pizza?
What was the answer?
Yes.
Yes, he loves pizza.
Okay, nice. Have you ever had a flight with the Clintons in the 90s?
Never.
No, his breathing is going towards a lie.
Okay. Have you ever been to an Epstein party?
I was at a party, and he was at that party.
So the answer is yes?
But he just said he ain't never been
The answer
in contact
was
with him earlier,
yes.
didn't he?
I was in a room, and he was in the same room.
Have you got any facial surgeries?
Never.
So no surgeries done?
Correct.
That actually came out as a lie.
And the main reason I started
Man, what's going on? Y'all know they be putting this stuff. They put in stuff in front of our faces that they want us to see. See, be playing right in our face. Cause where the hell did this Palm Beach Pete dude come from? Man, they say ain't nothing a coincidence. This Palm Beach dude, Pete dude, then popped out of the sky, out of nowhere. Cause where have you been at when Jeffrey Epstein was still around? This dude came out of nowhere, looking just like Jeffrey Epstein, and he seemed to have some money. So you just happen to be Jeffrey Epstein doppelganger who also got some money too. And then you keep on, hey, I'm Palm Beach Pete, I'm not that guy. Jeffrey Epstein, he's a bad guy. And according to, they say them lie detectors, they can't be held up in court or whatever. But scratch all that, I don't care. He looked like Jeffrey Epstein. And then they saying that it was deception indicated when he talking about, have you been on a flight with the Clintons? And then have you been in the same room with Jeffrey Epstein? Now, the lie detector can't be wrong because when the dude said, when he first asked him, have you been in the same room with, one thing I'm going to do, y'all, is keep them lips moisturized, okay? When they asked him, have you been in the same room as Jeffrey Epstein, he said no. Then he said it was deception indicated. And then later on, the dude himself said, oh, I was at a party, he was in the same room as me. Y'all, they is playing in our face. They is literally playing in our face. Y'all know they be saying that these folks, these elites be faking they too. Can I say death? Damn, what can we say anymore on the internet? Hell, what is this? Cable TV? They say these elites be faking their death, and I believe it. You got that much money, and you got that much money and that many connections. Mind you, like I said, y'all, these people is, I believe all these folks is in bed with each other, from the police, the government, military, all that is in bed with each other. It wouldn't be that hard. You got that many connections. That's all I'm saying.
talking about whoa shit and
Didn't they say that man worked for the FBI, supposedly, some CIA or somebody? Jeffrey Epstein. Is that true? I'll go look it up. My spare time.
trying to be aware and letting y'all in on information I done had downloads on this shit. Because y'all don't go through the crazy shit I gotta go through by myself. See, y'all think everything a jokes, but I really be dead serious. Like, these people watching the nigga, you heard me? See, I'm gonna give y'all a little story time, nigga. Fuck all that. I'm gonna tell y'all this real shit, and that's why I stopped being on that woke shit. I just trying to live life and get by because I can't save you motherfuckers. Y'all gonna cost a nigga his motherfucking life trying to save y'all with some information that y'all ain't gonna motherfucking use.
Or they gonna call you crazy. It be a lot of most I be want to say. But I don't even be want to say it, to be real. My family, like, you know what I'm saying, like my husband, my mom, and them, they know. I'm telling y'all, especially when I talk to y'all about how that spiritual realm and that dream realm real. And these folks know that because they dabble in it. I just, it's a lot of I be want to say, I don't say it. But like I said, you don't ever know who watching. I don't give a damn if I get off here and there's 2 views on this muck. You never know who watching or who may come across it or who it's being sent to. For real. You say some and you be tapped in a little too much, and next thing you know, never mind. Come on.
So yeah, I was out here, I say last summer. I'm telling my brother, like, I'm getting these downloads. I'm having dreams every night. I'm telling him this and that and the third, right? Check it out.
Them dreams.
I started peeping shit. I started peeping like it's a loop, it's a pattern. You hear me? Like, it's a spell. And I started breaking it down. And I started realizing a lot of shit that I can't speak on here, like, right? Check it out. So boom, I'm breaking that shit down to my brother and shit. Ooh. Tell me why. We go to the club. Now, mind you, I'm on a high vibration at this point. I ain't drinking, I ain't smoking. I don't give a fuck about nothing. Like, all this shit is fake. Everybody is getting controlled by the CIA and all that. I know this shit. This is facts. Everybody getting controlled by a frequency. It's invisible. But if you can see, you can see. It's a natural mystic vibration in the air, real talk. So I'm telling nigga like, yeah, bro, woo. We go to the club. Mind you, I don't want to go to the club. I'm just, just trying to, like, be cool for the day because I'm always so-called tripping. All right, we go to the club. Check it out. As soon as we get in the club, now I ain't saying like I'm ugly or nothing, but like I ain't no, you feel me? So I'm in the club everybody got a drink, you know what I'm saying? Everybody sipping on, you know. But I'm just standing here, you know, I got me a cup of little water. And my brother, he drinking or whatsoever, right? So all of a sudden, these girls, they had their own little session. They walk up to me. Now. As they walk up to me, I'm like, man, what's that? They like, what you doing over there standing by yourself? I'm like, I'm cooling. Like, mind you, I'm standing beside two niggas. So I'm like, I'm cool. I'm right to my partner. And they were like, nah, you too handsome to be standing here. You ain't having a good time. Come to our session. And I leaned down. I was like, I'm too handsome just be standing right here. And they like, yeah, why you want to come to our session? My homegirl want to dance with you and this and that third. We gonna get you a drink with. I'm like, who the fuck sent y'all? Cause shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this some old weird shit. Like, I swear, no jokes. I'm not bullshitting. I ain't got no jokes, and this is my real life. I swear. So I'm like, nah, mama, I'm cool, man. I can see y'all from right here. Boom. They walk off. It's a stud over there, like a stud in a VIP. I swear for God, she walk up to me. She like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what's that? I'm thinking she finna check me about them hoes that just came over. She was like, why you ain't trying to come forward with her, man? Shit, they want to fuck with you, man. The hoe trying to fuck with you. I was like, shit, I'm just cooling, man. You know, I don't really be in the club. This ain't my scene, right? Check it out. Man, look. The stud say, fuck that. Come over there, bitch. Pop this shit with me. Shit, you can pop this shit with me. It ain't nothing but hoes in that session in the stud girl. So I was like, man, listen. I don't know why y'all want me to come over there, but as my little partner. So my little partner and my brother, they like, man, shit, bro. She will come over there. She was like, nah, we want him to come over. We want him. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So I was like, man, I got to go to the restroom. I walked up. I was like, shit, y'all straight. So as I walked past the little session of the little fees, I waved at them and shit. They wave and shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? So I'm looking at everybody else in the club. You know, I'm like, man, damn, like, I ain't even fresh for real. I'm cooling. I ain't got too much going on, so I don't know what's the issue. Boom, when I come out the bathroom, I tell my brother, like, man, shit, son, when y'all boy trying to dip, you know what I'm saying? Come other partner, he getting drunk, he talking about punching on niggas and shit, he tripping.
Oh.
So look, I say time go by. Fast forward, we dip out. We in front of the club. Some niggas get to fighting and shit. So I'm looking at these niggas like, son, what's them? Like, you feel me? And as this shit happening, like, I can see it for real because I'm the only person who feels sober for real. So I'm watching all this shit happen in front of me, transpiring. So it's just like, damn, folks tripping out shit. So these girls get into it. That one I was like, man, I'm finna just walk off, son. Like, I'm walking off. So I look at my brother and I tell that boy, I was like, say, bro. I'm like, son, these people are getting controlled by the CIA. They sending frequencies through our phones and through the music, even through the fucking satellites, bro, and they're controlling people, bro. And
You can be controlled by music. We don't even got to look at the files on that or like how they didn't study that, which they do. They don't be studying and experimenting with this stuff for no reason. Like I said, y'all, they do this stuff to use it for sinister reasons. But we know that as individuals, even ourselves, literally, when you listen to certain type of music, the way you feel, it changes the way that you feel. So if you listening to gangster rap music, shoot that, pop, 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 you know what I'm saying? It making you, you know what I'm saying, feel a type of way, feel kind of make you want to, you know what I'm saying, feel like you own that or whatever. You listening to like mellow, chill vibe music, you know what I'm saying? It be make you feel good, like, you know what I'm saying, peace, namaste, you know what I'm saying? You want to get out in nature and stuff. For real. You people can't be controlled by music.
the people who most vulnerable, they getting controlled. So he was just looking at me like, man, son, don't start that shit, son. He like, son, I'm like, you can't see this shit, son? I'm like, brother, we don't supposed to be in the club, son. We supposed to build this bitch. We supposed to create the vibration in this bitch. We don't supposed to just be coming to the club, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, son, just be cool, son. He like, son, we having a good time, son. Don't trip. So I'm like, all right, I'm tripping. Mind you, I ain't try to shoot my stick at no fees. I ain't try to say nothing to no fees or nothing. I'm talking about straight up. I'm just cooling. Now, we make it back to our loft. Check it out. It's this white girl, she walking in front of us. You know what I'm saying? But like, she's ahead of us. Like, you feel me? She done been walked through the door. But she had like this item in her hand. But I ain't tripping. So I walk in behind. You feel me? I keep the door for my brother and them. Boom. We all walking in. Why the fuck the elevator still open that she on? We get on this bitch. She got a big ass knife in her hand. So I look at her. Mind you, the people who controlling all this shit, they know how to get you to, you know what I'm saying, to trigger you. So I look at the knife and shit. Everybody quiet on that bitch. We going up. You feel me? Cute white chick. I'm looking at her. I'm like, damn, son, what's that? Why she got that knife? As we getting out the elevator, I just turn to her and I say, why you got that big ass knife? You all right? She just bust out laughing. She like, yeah, I'm okay. So like, I just had to bring something to protect myself. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, where you work somewhere around here? She's like, yeah, I work like 2-3 blocks and I stay here, so I have to make sure I have something to protect. I took this out of the kitchen. So I'm like, man, that was up. That was them. And she was like, where you from? This and that and third, so we get to running it. Mind you, she's standing in front of the elevator door with the knife still in her hand. But I'm thinking to myself, like, man, the CIA know how to trigger me. Like, they know how to get me to start some Joseph going on. Cause now me and this chick slave flirting, right? Check it out. I swear for God, there's no bullshit.
I'm sorry, sir. You gotta be desperate. You trying to you chopping it up with a big knife in her hand. Y'all see me trying to bleep the curse words out for y'all. My kids sleep. They ain't gonna hear me. Anyways, I'm not a big cursor. Anyways, yeah, he gotta be desperate though, cause ain't no way. Like, excuse me, I wouldn't even be on the elevator. Like, girl, you okay?
I'm like, all right, shit, lock me in. What your name is? Bruh, I bullshit you not. My brother can testify to this shit. I bullshit you not. I said, what's your name? She said, Sia. I looked at her, I was like, see how you spell that? She was like, CIA, but not like the CIA. My eye got so motherfucking big, I just looked at her ass and I just stepped back and I was like, oh, all right, I'ma fuck with you. And she like had this sinister fucking smile on her fucking face, like shit fuck with me to this day. Man, I had to leave all that woke shit alone, man. I said, man, these folks on my ass, man. And y'all gotta understand, nigga, I ain't trying to lose my life trying to save a whole bunch of motherfuckers who ain't gonna do shit but just talk about the shit and make a nigga be a dead nigga around this bitch. So yeah, just know they watching, nigga.
Yeah, just like a lot of these our revolutionary leaders. Real talk, for real. Still doing the same shit. But I'm gonna say this. I ain't saying he lying and I don't want to believe the story, but he kind of lost me with the you trying to holler and the girl got a big knife in her hand. I don't want to say he lying. He could be telling the truth about this story. Because then again, man, people really do be that desperate. For real. Behind that meow meow, you be surprised. Like, it'll never be that serious.
Trolling, they got a part of all this shit. They probably don't even post this video.
But they definitely it's not like it'll be hard for them to follow us, tap in, listen to what we saying. Me and my husband was having a conversation about this. I told him this years ago. They got to be listening through the phones because I remember having a conversation with my cousin one day. We was on our way to this when I worked at Target. I think I was on my way to Target, and no, we was on my because she didn't work because why would she be in the car? We was on our way to some store. I think it was Stater Bros actually, because I remember we was in the Escalade. You know what I'm saying? And we talking. And the very same thing that we was talking about, I ain't looked it up or none of that. The very same thing we was talking about, I would say like a day or so later, I started getting ads about it. At first, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you be psyching yourself out, like not psyching yourself out, but you trying to rationalize it. Like, oh no, maybe I looked it up, I don't forgot. Maybe until like, you know what I'm saying? And been times after that, and then it happened again. I'm like, all right, now I know for a fact that I ain't looked this up, but I didn't talked about it with somebody, or you know what I'm saying, just even stuff you could be thinking about it, and then all of a sudden you get an ad about it. Y'all, man, look, and you say this stuff, people be thinking you crazy, but at these days and times, people more and more people starting to pick up on this stuff and see this, because at this point, I don't even think they even care about hiding it anymore. It's not no coincidence that everybody is talking about us living in a simulation. They being able to tap into our frequencies. They being able to, you know what I'm saying? They know what we thinking about. They listening in on our phones. We didn't heard rumors for years before people started coming out about the masks and saying this stuff about how the elites would have meetings, but then they wouldn't take their devices and they got to cover up the cameras and they all of that. Where do we think these just random ass rumors be coming from to us? Same thing before the whole Diddy thing and all this stuff come out. We all heard stuff for years, rumors about the very same stuff that it came out about these folks years prior, decades or so prior. We didn't heard rumors all of a sudden coming out about the same stuff about these people. But at that time, it was just rumors. Who do we think? You know, because I think they put the shit out there. You get what I'm saying? Like, they be letting us know. But see, at the time, we think, oh, that's just wrong. We think it's just wrong. But where these random ass rumors be coming from? And they'll get you to your dreams. By the way, a lot of these people, they be telling us, oh, they crazy, they crazy, they crazy. Nah, bro. Even with the crazy people, everybody ain't just, you know what I'm saying, just crazy. Like for real, for real. They be. I think a lot of them people be actually seeing some and actually, you know what I'm saying, tapping into some stuff. And it can it'll drive you crazy. Like I said, especially if you're not like mentally strong. And then I do believe that them people they able to tap into some shit, you know what I'm saying, send some shit away, drive them up crazy for real, for real. Oh
The
my
true
bad, it's one of
history
the
of Mother.
recordings, y'all.
Literally, if you want,
I was trying to get
literally,
this
if you
video
want to know the true history of Mother Earth, well, if you think that how much of what they're teaching our children in school is not even true, 20% of the Bible is not true, the same people who artificially twisted those books are the same people who are literally telling humanity what their history is. You did not
Yes.
come from an ape. Are you kidding me? So over 950 billion years ago.
And I just had that conversation with my son not too long ago because he was like, "Oh, do we come from monkeys? They say we came from monkeys."
What is tatted on my neck is Lyra, 12th dimensional original celestial human beings, Lyrans, if you want to call it Elohai, Elohim, where that word comes from, right? It traces all the way back the lineage, and there's been 3 seedings of original celestial human beings. There's been 2 wipeouts, which happened at the Electric Wars and the Thousand Year Wars, and this true history is written in Voyagers 2 by Ashiana Dean. And so this is the 3rd and what some people say the final seeding. And so the true history before Egypt, they did a blank slate technology in Egypt where they literally scrambled the codes of the DNA Babel. All of these things come from a true story, right? And literally they scrambled the ley lines and the codes, and they told humans that, hey, there's these pharaohs who were greater than you. Absolutely not. The 12 original celestial human tribes have 12 strands of DNA. Every DNA strand is a bandwidth of frequencies to cellular memory. Activate your 6th DNA strand, then you'll be saying, I'm a pharaoh. And then activate more, right? And then you'll literally, before that, there was a flood in Atlantis. And so people are remembering their Atlantis cellular memory in the ceremonies that I facilitate. Before that, there were Lemurians. Shout out to my Lemurians in Kauai. It's in your DNA, by the way. It's your DNA.
You be seeing it in these dreams. I'm sorry, I keep bringing y'all back to these dreams because with that Atlantis one, I had some dreams that.
It has the memory. Before Lemurians, there were literally the 12 original celestial human tribes. It's in your DNA, okay? So now people are starting to remember and awaken their DNA, and there's been 3 seedings. And so literally this is the true history of Mother Earth, and this for some is the 3rd and final seeding. And so the truth will set us free, and history will repeat itself unless we learn from the past. So there's been 2 wipeouts in the past. It's a scalar wave war. What is scalar waves? The media, sound and light, television, radio waves, the music industry. You see what I'm saying? So once you start understanding the pattern of history, the same frequency on loop. So once history will repeat itself unless we learn from the past. And so literally it's so important for us to remember our true history, our true origin. We are the original celestial human beings made in the image and likeness of God, which is not a person in the sky. It's a base 12 eternal life mathematical code which lives inside of your DNA. And literally you can awaken it with the right sound, light, and symbols. And don't believe a word I say. Hit me on a message and I'll let you know how. And then you will.
Okay, laughed on us. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody religion, but again, like I told y'all, it never spoke to me as a kid. I was raised a Christian. It never spoke to me. It's just like, ain't no way that people believe in this stuff. It definitely ain't no man in the sky. It's definitely not what they've been telling us. That's why I tell y'all, these kids be having more sense than a lot of adults. And these kids coming to this world knowing. You be knowing, you know what I'm saying, as a kid. I'm not saying you know everything, but like, just, we talking on a spiritual tip or whatever, right? Like when y'all see them videos, some kids talk about like they past lives and stuff. You know, that's why they be trying to hurry up and indoctrinate us. But my mama, she didn't talk to me about this, you know what I'm saying, this type of thing with the universe and all of that. Years and years ago. She called it like the Great Reset. And that's another thing that's crazy is because you be hearing this stuff growing up and these people have no way of knowing each other, right? And then now in today's time with the internet, I made a video about how social media has ruined us or the internet has ruined us, whatever. But it's a lot. I learned that everything has pros and cons. There's good and bad to everything, right? So it's not just all bad either, because it has also helped us be able to connect with other people and like-minded people too as well. You know what I'm saying? All over the globe, which is good. And it's very interesting to see, like I said, stuff you would hear as a child, your folks saying or talking about to you. And now you seeing it today's time, social media, people from all other places of the world was saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Today folks believing the same thing. Y'all, we be knowing, but we just don't be like I said, you don't just go out in the public or in the world talking about it like that because you don't want to be labeled crazy and all of that. You know, these people know what they be. These elites know what they be doing because they know this stuff is. They know it's true. If we don't agree on nothing else, when it comes to this conspiracy stuff, because again, like I said, I'm not saying every conspiracy is true, but if we don't agree on nothing else, y'all gotta know that they are not telling us the 100% truth on everything. Like these people, like I always say, they mix in a little bit of truth with a whole bunch of lies because it's hard to decipher what the lie is. Because if you told me the truth about this, then why would you lie to me about that? Or which one is the lie? You get what I'm saying? It's like they do a lot of psychological like warfare with us for real. They good at it too.
Feel it and experience it. What you know, you cannot not know. But literally, if you want to know the true.
So I just saw a video of a girl saying that in her opinion, she thinks a medical diagnosis is like putting a spell on someone. And I was like, yes, I think you're onto something, woman. Because let's say, you were diagnosed with this, that, and the other. And then you're going and telling people, everybody you talk to, what's going on with you. And then you say the diagnosis. Or diagnosis. So it's like you're speaking it into existence. So I started reading the comments, and there was a woman that was like, yeah, I used to see a fertility doctor, and we couldn't get pregnant. She goes, I finally just stopped going to the fertility doctor, stopped worrying about it, and she got pregnant. It's like when you see those people give advice, which I totally believe in this advice, where you need to stop saying I am and then something negative. Because you're speaking it into existence. And we all know words are powerful. So if you are tired, just reword it differently. Be like, I'm going to go get some energy. If you're not feeling good, instead of saying that, be like, I'm going to feel good soon. You catch my drift. But it was the medical thing, the medical diagnosis that really had me thinking. What do you guys think?
I made a video.
That's an interesting point. Because y'all ever hear them talk about how people don't feel sick and then they go to the doctor for a regular checkup and then they find something and then it's like literally right after they are told like, oh, we found that you have whatever, they all of a sudden start feeling sick. And I think that too goes into play with them knowing how powerful the mind is. The mind controls a lot more than we think. You get what I'm saying? So for instance, y'all know when I did that video, and I'm not telling y'all to not go to the doctor, don't get checkups, don't take your medication and nothing like that, because y'all, I know me, I'm a hypochondriac about not only my health, but especially my kids' health. So let something happen, I'm gonna be skirt. I'm the first one, you know what I'm saying, making a beeline to the emergency room. Okay, get me to a doctor now. But y'all saw when I did that video about that tick I found in my leg, scared that I didn't, you know what I'm saying, they might have gave me something. My 2 weeks still ain't up. But it say you got to monitor for symptoms for 30 days, but I think I'm good. But anyways, I went up there, whatever, right? So then later on that day, I'm in the van with my husband and our kids, whatever. We going to go get something to eat. I'm still thinking about this tick, y'all. I'm still scared. Like, oh my God, what if it gave me something? Oh my gosh, whatever, right? To where literally, I kid you not, all of a sudden I'm starting to itch now on my arm. It's right here, my right arm. And I'm starting to get hives that I'm seeing like on my hands and on my arm. And I'm looking at my husband. I'm like, see, baby, look at my arm. You don't see them hives right there? Like, oh my gosh, like that mean I got some. Y'all, the same day. Like, you know what I'm saying? The symptoms work that fast. The kind of damn tick I get bit by. And he like, Danielle, he was like, you overthinking it, baby. Like, you good. Like, first he was saying he ain't seen nothing. I'm like, so you don't see this on my right hand? Then he looked again, he was like, oh yeah, I am starting to see it or whatever now. And he told me, he was like, you need to calm down, because he was like, you do know you can literally like make yourself sick by, you know what I'm saying, doing that, like overthinking, you know what I'm saying, kind of like the whole thing when they say like stress and all that. But yeah, that lady might be on to something, you know what I'm saying, with that, because
said, I believe in the firmament, and I don't believe space is real. I believe it's all water out there. And motherfuckers was like, oh, you got to explain that, please. So yeah, let me go ahead and deal with this real quick. You mind if I reason with you for a second? Hear me out. The problem isn't that you don't believe in the firmament, because you do. The problem is that it was explained to you by some idiots. That's what it is. I mean, I get bless their heart. They tried their best. But they couldn't really explain it to you, because when they read the Bible and shit, they read spookism. I don't read spookism. Everything in the Bible is scientific. And I'm finna prove to you with this video that the Bible is always motherfucking right. The Bible is always motherfucking right. Always right. Sometimes. First, we're going to deal with the firmament. Everybody is all arguments. As soon as you bring up the firmament, motherfuckers like, oh, we got another conspiracy theorist. Nah, bitch. Science agrees with me. The problem is that you can't read between motherfucking lines. It's very simple. What everybody is calling the firmament, science calls the exosphere. Yeah, you heard of the atmosphere, but you ain't paid no attention to the exosphere. Well, let's break down that term for you. Exo, that means outside, external, right? Sphere means circling some shit. So you got a sphere. We have an external sphere circling us. That's what that means. Sounds like a firmament to me, bitch. And I can show you the exosphere right here. Let's pay attention to sky stone. This is sky stone. This is mysterious stone that falls from the motherfucking sky. And you know what it's made of? It's made of motherfucking water in a solidified state that is not ice. Pay attention, bitch. Now look, now you gotta ask yourself, what is the purpose of a firmament? I think it's simple. It serves two reasons. Reason number one is to keep whatever's the fuck inside, and whatever's the fuck outside. Now the second reason, motherfucker, the second reason for the firmament is to separate the waters from the waters. Now let me explain something to you. If you don't understand that, well, it ain't the firmament's fault. The fact is you don't understand water. Now, to understand water, you got to understand the fact that water comes in 4 states. They're going to tell you 3. You're going to look up, it's going to say 3. It's going to say solid, liquid, and gas. Let me explain to you. It come in 4. That 4th being vapor. Now, I know some of y'all going to say, but ain't vapor, gas the same thing? No, the fuck it is not. No, it is not. That's how you've been taught. Well, baby, you've been taught wrong. Most gases you can't even see. But vapors you can clearly see, like steam, mist, fog. That's vapor, bitch. Well, now look, if you understand that, then you also understand that you breathe in several gases all day long. I don't know who the fuck told you all you breathe in is oxygen, but they lied to you, bitch. You breathing in gases and shit all motherfucking day. And the most common gas you breathing in is motherfucking water. Yes, it is. It is everywhere all the time. There's a reason why there's a saying, water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. That's because even in the desert, with water everywhere, you could die of motherfucking thirst. Well, that was back then, because right now, we actually pull water from the air, motherfucker. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And now it's people drinking water that wouldn't have been drinking water, nigga. Yes, it is, and it ain't got no fluoride. Pay attention, bitch. Hear me out now. If there's water in this air, well, let's see, damn, is there water in space? Well, look here, bitch. There's water in space. Water is one of the most common things you find in space. It is everywhere. It's around stars and shit, and it comes in gas and vapor, and it's every motherfucking where. So damn, you telling me we got something called the exosphere that's separating the waters from the waters, and you telling me that you don't believe the firmament is real? Well, God be goddamn. And I know some of you at-home rocket scientists and you basement physicists finna say, well, how do we get to the moon if we ain't left the planet? Well, bitch, the moon is in Earth's exosphere, which means the moon is on the planet. It say it right here, bitch. I think this is dealt with. At this point. I'm gonna let y'all argue about whether or not it's flat or not, bitch. But I think now you understand the firmament and that they're separating the waters from the motherfucking waters. It's like a planetary condom when you think about it. But TikTok, this just a joke for entertainment purposes only. We just having fun. What the fuck do I know? I don't know shit. All I know is the firmament is something to keep motherfuckers out or it's keeping motherfuckers in. Either way it go, I know we can't go no motherfucking where, and that sounds like a prison to me. Follow me for more.
I just got...
He's funny. Now I always say there's something to that Bible. I don't practice a specific religion, but just like I say with them with everything else, it's some truth in that Bible, and then it's a lot of lies in that Bible. So like he just made it. It's crazy he made that comparison because again, I was just talking to my husband and mom and them about this, like not just, but like past conversations I'd had with them, right? On one of my many rants. Science will like they'll use science and science terms and all of that to kind of explain the universe and stuff, right? But then in a way, like you said, if you really pay attention, they're literally saying the same stuff with, you know what I'm saying, with some of these verses and stuff in the Bible. It's the same thing with spirituality that I realized with them too. They will say like, oh, ghosts aren't real and dreams and all of that or whatever, right? But then they'll go and explain stuff in a scientific way about alternate realities and all of that, which is basically saying the same shit that if you've experienced it, you know is already true spiritually. That's all they be doing. And that's how they get us tripped up. Like I say, they play a lot of mind games with us and a lot of word play with us. They are be saying the same thing, y'all. They just use different terms, different wordings or whatever to explain it. But they be saying the same it's all saying the same And then you find out, like I said, you go and read some of these unclassified documents that these people, the very same stuff that they told you is not true. People tripping, they crazy, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to spirituality and all this other stuff, or whether it be, you know what I'm saying, this Bible stuff. And you find out they in the background experimenting with it. They trying to, you know what I'm saying, figure out how to tap in. All I wanted to say.
Banned from Israel upon arrival and deported back to America for anti-Semitic or anti-Israel content. I flew out of New Jersey on an El Al flight to...
Okay, let me explain this on my bad before I let it play. So this one you might feel like it's not really a conspiracy theory. I thought it was kind of interesting, and the reason why I did put it in there because it is kind of, I feel like conspiracy theory, like in a way, right? Because when you understand that we constantly always hearing people say that can I even say it? The what they be saying, the juice run everything, and that's a damn shame. You can't even say nothing about them folks, but you can say something about, you know what I'm saying, everybody else, people that have been through. Yeah, but I'm wrong if I say that though. But that's why I put this in there. Him explaining his whole little experience with them and their story stuff, and like I said, people say the conspiracy theory out there is that these people got the whole world in a chokehold.
Tel Aviv on a plane with basically all Jews and had plenty of pleasant conversations and positive interactions on my way there. Believe it or not, a lot of Jews were excited for me to visit their country.
Where are we headed, boys?
We're headed to Tel Aviv. And they say they're not even the original or the real, you know what? Go ahead.
Baby. Are they gonna let me in?
Go ahead, sir.
There we go. But of course, I was being tracked the entire time, and photos of me circulated in Jewish WhatsApp groups as I was asleep in the middle seat of the back of the plane. 12 hours in the middle seat later, I land in Israel, and my passport scan says to go find an agent. I'm then brought to the back office where my interrogation begins. I tell him I'm here to enjoy the beaches of Tel Aviv, see some holy sites, and maybe do some street interviews asking some of the world's oldest questions. Right? He then asks if I'm here to provoke Jews, if I'm hiding anything, if I'm anti-Semitic. I tell him no, obviously. The agent then goes like, you can just be honest, this is Israel. As if I said, yeah, I'm anti-Semitic, that would somehow go over well upon arriving to Israel. But I tell him no, I'm not. I don't hate anyone, and I don't. He proceeds to watch my videos about the Hasidic communities in upstate New York and New Jersey, where I examine how they use welfare to afford 7 to 10 kids. I try to explain the nature of the videos, and he eventually tells me to go sit down while they deliberate my fate. About 30 minutes later...
And that's crazy, because they didn't, which I be calling YT people here, I be calling them colorless, but they didn't successfully try to make the black community be the face of what stuff like welfare, government assistance and stuff. But I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead, my good sir.
He tells me to come back in the room and states that he's spoken to his higher-ups and that I've been denied entry into Israel.
And when I talk about the colorless people, I'm not talking about like just that specific group in general. I'm just saying like just all non-black people or whatever. But go ahead, sir.
Israel due to anti-Semitic or anti-Israel content. I'm then handed a paper that I have to sign, which falsely claims that I've attempted to illegally immigrate to Israel, which is obviously bullshit, and I assume was done to prevent me from re-entering Israel for as long as legally possible, despite him telling me the real reason was due to anti-Semitic content. I check Twitter and see that Israel's Minister of Diaspora and Combating Anti-Semitism is retweeting an Israeli news article that claims Tyler Oliveira, the Jew-hating YouTuber, is expelled from Israeli border on the orders of the Israeli minister. The f***? He then quotes, "I'm proud to have denied entry to Israel today to an unfortunate YouTuber who is using the harassment of Jews as a way to get clout on social media. Furthermore, let this be a lesson to all haters and supporters of BDS." So I tell the agent, "Man, it's a shame I can't visit the biggest democracy in the Middle East." And he goes, "Well, maybe you can visit Afghanistan." Now, for a second, imagine if me criticizing welfare use in black communities in America somehow got me banned from countries in Africa. Or the welfare users in Appalachia somehow got me banned from Europe. This exception only seems to exist when it's regarding Jews. They confiscate my passport, take me to a brief holding room with a bunch of Filipinos, and then tell me I have a flight out at midnight, which is like 8 hours later. Now, it's clear to me at this point that the unspoken strategy is they want the accusations of anti-Semitism they hurl at people like me to eventually become true, to then justify their very accusations. But the problem is, there is no hatred in my heart, and only a resolve to see things as they are. Why am I, as an American, not allowed to question my fellow Americans who happen to be Jewish, and how our collective tax dollars are being spent in America, while our greatest ally, Israel, that is the...
Meanwhile, that's why I said I can't wait to get mad when I get on this issue about my folks. When I get on this topic about my folks, when dealing with these people outside our community, right? In any of the damn colorless groups, we still up here got our folks talking about getting reparations. Meanwhile, everybody else got their shit. What we talking about? And don't nobody want to say it, but we know slavery was like the damn worst fucking act you can do to humans. It was like that is an act against goddamn humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about? Didn't that last for like 400 years? It was worse than what they was teaching us in school. Y'all don't even realize how far these people, they can go with the sickness. I don't even want to go too far on that topic because that's supposed to be safe for another topic. And I'm getting kind of loud, my family trying to sleep. That's why I need to go on ahead and get that designated office. Because see, and I know I'm a, you know what I'm saying, gain some followers, lose some followers, some about these topics. I don't give a damn. Because yes, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I'm a person that's, no, first of all, everybody has layers to them. And that's why I designate certain days for all these different things that I'm interested in, that I want to connect with y'all on and come and talk to y'all about. So maybe you might connect more with the, you know what I'm saying, anime side of me, which, you know, anybody from any background or whatever can connect with. And then there's, you know what I'm saying, we're going to talk about the funny stuff, the scary stuff, the spirit stuff, all that. And then there's going to be certain times on our Let's Talk sessions where I'm going to be having topics and conversations about and pertaining to specifically to, you know what I'm saying, my community of people. Because like he said, like this, you can't even say nothing about these folks. But meanwhile, other groups of people, you could say any damn thing that you want, and people still out here debating if they really run it. I don't know, hell, got the damn world at this, if you want to be honest, I guess if you want to call it, in the damn chokehold. What is really going on here? Like, for real. Kanye West said something, they made him come back with his tail tuck, change his whole script. Nick Cannon, one of them. I think it was a basketball player. I can't remember his name. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it was many more. Them damn people move like the mafia, for real.
Single largest recipient of American foreign aid in our history, then deports me while their government officials publicly paint a target on my back while I'm still in their country. Adjusting for inflation, U.S. aid to Israel from 1951 to 2022 totaled $317 billion, making it the largest recipient of American foreign aid since World War II. But fun fact, we don't even have a formal mutual defense treaty with Israel. Yeah, our greatest ally is not even technically our ally. For perspective, the US has formal mutual defense treaties with all 32 NATO members, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Thailand. These treaties legally obligate the US to come to their defense if attacked and vice versa. For these countries, the obligation is a two-way street. But not with Israel. In summary, we've given Israel over $300 billion in cumulative aid. We vote UN resolutions to shield them from international law all the time. We provide them with the most advanced weapons on earth. And best of all, American troops die in conflicts to uphold Israeli interests, all without a formal obligation for Israel to defend the US. No treaty, no legitimate alliance, and no defense commitment. So, they'll take our money, they'll let our soldiers die to eliminate existential threats to Israel, but I'm the second coming of if I get on a plane to visit the country that's the largest recipient of foreign.
And that dude he was just talking about, and see, look, they finna say I'm wrong for even saying this, but goddamn it, we a lot of us, if not all of us, thinking it. Nobody don't want to say it. They don't want to put no target on their back, and I get it. Even with that whole story, you know, they be saying that shit. We know they wrote them books. They be telling their perspective on. I know they lied. Even with that whole little situation, I'm starting to even question how much of that situation is actually even true. Did they even go down how they say it went down? With homeboy. Because like I told y'all, these people is not telling us, if you don't know nothing else, they don't be telling us 100% of the truth. Because what is really going on, you know what I'm saying, with them? It's something like
aid that my tax dollars go towards. I get deported and called a Jew hater by Israeli officials for what? Looking for the truth? Is that illegal in Israel? You know, I think it's about time we examine how a small country of about 10 million people seemingly exert more control over American foreign policy than any other country on earth. I've refrained from exploring this topic to the degree in which it deserves because I wanted to first report on important topics, boots on the ground in Israel, before I was inevitably banned. But now there's nothing to lose. I'm basically perma-banned from entering, so why not get messy and have some fun discussing perhaps the most important political topic in our lifetime.
This is the last year of normalcy.
All I'm gonna say is he better be careful. Y'all know they MO. They gonna say that boy then himself up out of here. Or all of a sudden he gonna be somewhere shopping it. Oh, a senseless act of violence. You know, it's just coincidence. He got boppy to something. Somebody tried to rob him. You know, one of their little mini playbooks, little tactics they be pulling out their playbook. I say be a lot of stuff I be want to say, but hell, I know not to play with these folks. Y'all better, like I said, y'all better realize who y'all playing with. But shout out to the people that be brave enough to come out here and get a little think pieces, make people really think. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everything they say is true, but I know for damn sure at this point we know that everything these damn elites and these politicians and these officials are saying for sure is not true. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the people that's brave enough to, you know what I'm saying, do the work, really come out here, you know, like I said, get a think piece to say their piece or whatever. Cause hell, I got a family here, shit. And if they can't get to you here, they'll try to get to your get to you through your family. Hell, sometimes they even use your family to get to you.
I believe it. This is the absolute last year of a normal economy. Even right now, if you look at the job numbers, they're all negative. Every fucking month, they're negative like a recession. And that's why Trump went into Venezuela, grabbed that oil, went into Iran, grabbed that, because while the world is losing jobs all over the place, you think it's just in America? The Chinese just had factories completely replaced with robots and robots. I told you this shit
I was about to say, is that true? But I believe it. I believe it. Like, because China always been ahead of the game when it comes to that robot stuff and technology and all that.
months ago. My billionaire friend says he goes to a dark warehouse. I'm like, what's a dark warehouse? They have no lights. Why? They have no humans in there. It's all machines. They don't need lights. So what I'm trying to tell you is this shit is all coming down. Every little piece of it. So you can do one of two things. You can enjoy the last year of what's gonna, of this type of living. Go out there to the bars, go have a whole bunch of whores, or you can prepare by knowing something about AI, prepare by having some money in reserves, gold, ammo. If you go to my house, you think it's a grocery store with how much water I have there. I'm ready. Do you know one of the richest people I know? He called me up 18 months ago. He's like, Gary, I'm gonna open a gun shop. I'm like, what? There's not much money in that shit. Why would you open that? He's like, oh, I'm not worried about making money off it. When shit hits the fan, I got fucking somewhere to go get all my ammo. They told me that 18 fucking months ago. It's coming. It's coming. Prepare, because
So the son acts.
Me and my husband always talking about when he get out the military and really just trying to decide if he even want to, you know what I'm saying? But one, if we want to stay in America, right? And then two, definitely buying a house with land. We have to. And before all this happened, I always said I want a house with land and all that, right? Because like I say, they done got us to the point to where we don't even have basic human survival knowledge, right? We don't know how to go get no dirty ass water. Excuse my language. Go get no dirty water and filter it enough to where it's drinkable. We don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't know how to garden. I'm currently trying to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, garden or whatever. I done got stuff and all that, learn how to garden, you know, as a family. We don't know that stuff. That's why when stuff hit the fan, a lot of us gonna be up out of here. Cause when they in the store, what we gonna do? The people who will outlast us though is them people outside the city where all the chaos is happening on their land with their own cattle and you know what I'm saying, and they know how to farm and all that, lemon trees or whatever they got on there. But the point that I'm making is we got to get back to that. Because when we thinking that AI is like, oh my gosh, getting out of hand now, and then even so, which I think is on purpose, it's gonna start to get even harder to even realize, okay, what we're watching, is this AI or is it real? And I ain't gonna lie, hell, I'm already kind of there. Some of them videos be looking so real, and I'll be like, and some people in the comments be like, dang, that's AI, and I've had to go back and look, that's AI, right? But the point that I'm making is eventually what I think the end goal is, because the only reason that they even care to do enough to, you know what I'm saying, like really, I guess you could say like keep us alive or whatever and all that, because they need somebody to work in their business and do all this tedious, right? But when these robots take over in all these businesses and all of that, because like they said, robots don't need paternity leave. Robots don't get sick. They don't got to go to the doctor, none of that. Maybe they might break down or whatever. They could fix them up, put them right back out there on the line. Ain't no breaks. What you need a break for? You're a robot. You're a robot. I don't see no sense in what they gonna do. Make robot work, little like lost robots and they rights and working for it. They're robots. If they gonna do that, hell, you might as well go on and go put the humans back in there. But the point that I'm making is there will literally be no more. I don't see it being no use for us no more after a while. Once they get to the point, I don't know when they're gonna get to this point, but I feel like they eventually will. When they get to the point to where there's nobody needed in all these different industries and these companies and stuff, and it's all automated and it's just robots. What is the use in humans anymore? Because I think at this point, the elites really don't. Hell, they be moving in a way it's like, is you even human yourself? They don't even give a damn about humanity like that. Like, y'all think they care enough to give us a what they call it, worldwide like supplemental or whatever income where you just get paid a certain amount monthly or whatever or weekly and stuff, and even that, even if then I don't even like that, because then they control how much you can actually make. Then you say something they don't like, guess what? Oh, they control the bank accounts. Now your money gone. On some Black Mirror type stuff. Look, I told you they be putting that stuff in the shows. On some Black Mirror type stuff. Oh, your social little status then went down. Can't buy this house. Kind of like same thing as what credit score and all that. Man, look, you better go back to. We got to get back. We got to get back to, you know what I'm saying, Mother Nature. We got to get back to that stuff. Gone.
On the melanin. What happens is the sun strikes your skin changes the sun to vitamin D. The sun strikes the leaves of the tree, and the leaves of the tree change the sun into oxygen. We are a form of the sun. We transfer sun energy. That's all we're doing. We absorb the sun and we change it to vitamin D, as they tell you. But also this melanin that you have helps you metabolize carbohydrates. It's involved in your digestive process. Now, melanin also, it comes from your pineal gland. And I'm going to show you the pineal gland. I'm going to show you the electromagnetic force above the pineal gland, which is called the Eye of Horus. But the pineal gland secretes the melanin, and primarily today, people associate melanin with serotonin and melatonin, which are hormones made by the pineal gland. Serotonin is kind of stimulating, and melatonin is kind of like mellow. It's made in the evening, and serotonin is primarily made during the day. You cannot digest your food without melatonin. Digestion is a female principle. Chewing up the food is a male principle. During the day, you have a serotonin response, which we call Osiris, which is a sympathetic nervous system response, which energizes your body. And the serotonin does that. And it's primarily functioning from 4 a.m. in the morning to 12 noon. And then it stops. That's when it's kind of, you can't have one functioning without the other functioning. That doesn't happen. Both function at the same time, the male and female principle. I don't want to get too overbearing to scientific kind of hoopla, because it's just a bunch of jargon anyway. As long as you have a feel for what I'm saying, that's what you need. You have to feel the spirit of what I'm saying. The words are not that important to me. When I'm teaching, I want a person to get a feel for it. If you get a feel for it, if you can touch the spirit of it, it will guide you right the rest of the way. But just to memorize words, that's kind of European kind of thing. That's not going to help you with what I'm talking about. So I'm just trying to, in the process of giving you this information, I'm trying to also help you change stations too, in our understanding of what melanin is about and what digestion is about. The food that we take in our body primarily is passive. Your body has to do everything to it. You have to chew it. Your muscles have to push it down your digestive tract. The food is doing nothing but laying in your body, and your body is doing everything to the food. The food is not active. You're the one acting. When you start acting on this food, you start generating energy, and then you say you're getting energy from the food. It is your reaction to the food that you call energy. It is your reaction to alcohol that you call being drunk. Alcohol gets into the nervous system, and your body has a reaction to it to get rid of it, and people call that getting high, when your body's trying to fight. Like if you take some cocaine or something, your body rushes energy to it to get rid of it, and this rush of energy is what people call getting high, digestion. And they lead you to believe that you can eat an orange or apple or banana, and apple and banana becomes part of you. But that it can't be done. That's called splicing the cell. Is the only way you can do that. All your body does is react to the banana, react to the orange, react to the apple. And this reaction is called vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, that sort of thing. Because you cannot get calcium and magnesium from any source other than the source God put in your body. Your body makes it for you. But you can't get it from any other source. You just stimulate the calcium in your body by the calcium that you take. Like people take a lot of calcium, magnesium from pigs and cattle that you get in Wheaties and mineral-enriched cereals. All of it has the calcium they get from the bones of pigs and cattle and those sort of animals. Whenever you see enriched flour, that's coming from pigs and cattle. Enriched Wheaties, enriched corn, enriched grits, that's coming from pigs and cattle. Basically, that's pork, in other words. They use pork to make things enriched. That's what I'm trying to say. They use pork to make white sugar. They use pork to make enriched flour. They use pork. They use the bones of animals to stimulate the calcium in your system. And when you do that, the body becomes acid. And so actually, the enriched flour causes your bones to deteriorate quicker than flour that's not enriched, because you're adding this calcium from an acidic source, which is not a plant source.
Oh, wait a minute. He might be on some. So I switched from because I always try to make like health conscious, you know what I'm saying, changes or whatever, right, in the household when it comes to stuff that we eat. One, I don't buy freezer food anymore because they, you know what I'm saying, say it's not good for you or whatever. So I'll cook for like lunch and dinner. Or like if we have leftovers from dinner from the previous dinner, I cook. We eat that for lunch and then I'll cook a new dinner or whatever, right? But one of the changes that I made was one, I switched from vegetable oil to peanut oil because it's supposed to be better for you. And then I switched from um and you know what I'm saying, white flour or whatever, right? Enriched whatever flour, right? To oat flour because it's supposed to be better for you. Now, they said something, I think about it too though. My knee has started, and I was thinking like, okay, I was looking it up because I'm like, okay, I need to go to the doctor, anyways. But I got some appointments coming up. But my left knee been like bothering me or whatever, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's postpartum or whatever, you know. Um, but then I noticed like when I made like these changes or whatever, and just like when they say that drinking milk like that too is not supposed to be all that good for you. Now I'm not saying do not drink milk, don't give your kids milk. I give my kids milk or whatever, right? But I noticed that when I cut these things out, the pain in my knee or whatever had went away. But then when I went back to like eating these things or whatever, or drinking these things, it came right back, like full force or whatever. So I don't know, call it a coincidence, but they say pay attention to your body. Your body will tell you, right? And then with the whole melanin thing, I know they do say that it is harder for us to absorb vitamin D, right? Because we have a natural, like our skin, or whatever, we're having so much melanin, a natural like sunscreen or whatever to the sun. And mind you, if y'all don't take nothing else from this video that this man talking about, you are supposed to look the way that you look. You supposed to be. People don't want to say that. They want to go in reverse and they say, "Oh, we're all human. Hatred breeds more hatred." Whatever. That's not what I'm saying. You're supposed to be melanated, okay? You're supposed to be brown, black, whatever you want to call it. Although we're brown, you are supposed to be melanated, okay? Um, like I said, these people do a lot of trickery, a lot of reverse psychology. When they telling you to look this way, as they say, look the other way. Anything they telling you how to feel about a certain thing or whatever, do the exact opposite. They didn't work so hard to make people believe, and even our own people with all the self-hatred that we have and we put on to each other, to feel bad for looking the way that they look based off of a skin color or whatever. And a lot of people don't realize how deep this actually goes. But see, our folks that came before us understood us. Again, that's why one of them sayings they used to have, they hate us because they ain't us. That's true. Y'all think these people just really, like, yeah, in a way, okay, it is about how you look. Like, that's why they hate you, right? Because they ain't you. But they gonna tell you that like, oh no, I don't want to be look like that. I don't want to be that dark. I don't want to be da woot 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 blah 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 blah. Right? You technically age better. We see it. And when you go out in nature and Mother Nature, do you know what I'm saying? Everything around us will literally tell you like you're supposed to look the way you look. They literally say that they are lighter because they have less melanin, right? They lack it or whatever. They say everybody has melanin. Some people just have less. But with all that being said, again, if you don't take nothing else from this video that this man is saying, you supposed to look the way you look. Be proud of it. Stop making these people feel bad for how you look. Our people is out here. They is damn bleaching now. They didn't got these bleach creams. I don't know when they came out with bleach creams and how long bleaching has been a thing, but they are out here bleaching and it's everywhere. In America, places in Africa, and hell, I didn't heard that they the dude Wani that I reacted to before. I want to react to another one of his videos. I said I'm all in the Chinese news and they little drama that they got going on. He tell it so interestingly. I like watching his stuff. But one of the videos I watched that he had did was how they even be bleaching, and I'm like, damn, how like do they want to go? And he said they be bleaching to the point to where if you go to his channel, he did a channel about how they be bleaching out there, right where he at, and I think he out there. But anyways, they be bleaching over there in China, and he was saying that, and they do it to a point where it's like they be wanting to look like ghosts. This is crazy. They take our jacket off of us, put it on them, take their jacket off of them and put it on us, right? So it's like they got us wanting to look like them or be like them whole time. Y'all don't even realize they really want to look like you. I don't give a damn what they telling you. Look at what they doing. Look at their actions. Cause who the hell hates somebody that bad for how they look? They understand this stuff. Some of the racists, they ain't all the way there. They be saying their IQ low, so they really just be thinking that they really better than somebody. I don't know how, but especially for sure, like these elites, these people and these that study this type of stuff, they understand. They understand this stuff. Y'all better stop trying to bleach that damn melanin up out y'all skin.
So the melanin is involved in these reactions, what we call conversion reactions. It regulates the time. Did you become adult? Did you become a man? Did you go to sleep? Did your hair grows?
Damn, you was right. And I was like, I knew I was right.
And then, for instance, too, like I remember my son was still when he was still going to public school. One day they was going. What was they going, like a little field trip or something? Or was it when he was in public school, or they was doing like a little summer camp thing on here on base? Anyways, he came home asking me. He was like, "Oh, they said that we're gonna need sunscreen and stuff." And I get it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Whether you you know what I'm saying, are black or not or whatever, that you can still use sunscreen and still can be beneficial, as they say, or whatever, right? But when I was telling him, he came home like it was just such a dire need, like he was gonna be in trouble. You know, he younger at this time, whatever. He only 8 now, but he was even younger then. And I had to explain to him, I'm like, son, it's not that much of a dire need as you think it is for you. I'm like, because, and I had to let him know, you know what I'm saying, like as brown people, you can use sunscreen, but if you don't have it or if you don't need it, the way they making it seem to you, or how he was making it seem to me when he came home, now they were saying that they gonna need it or whatever. I'm like, you're gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's your skin is not gonna react to it like somebody that has less melanin than you, right? You know, what y'all call white tea, or the colors people, right? Skin will react to it. They need it a lot more than you do, basically. So I explained to him, like, you can, yeah, get you some. You know what I'm saying? Like, with some if you want it that bad, but like, you don't. It's not a dire need. You don't really need it like that. So I had to explain that to him. But like I said, y'all better stop bleaching that dang melanin about y'all skin, out y'all skin. Y'all better be proud of who you is, because like I said, you got to understand whatever they be telling us. It's always it seemed to be opposite. It be opposite.
People used to think I was crazy because I would tell them that I could see evil spirits and people from their eyes. I don't know. It's just something.
I'm an energy person. I can pick up through the energy, and in eyes too. She not lying. I didn't did that too, even through the eyes. It's like they be, when people say this, they not lying, y'all, for real. For y'all people who pick up on this stuff, y'all know I'm not lying. It's like motherfuckers be dead in the eyes, for real. Like they don't be no soul back there. I don't even know how to, again, unless you are one of the people that are able to pick up on this thing. It's so hard trying to explain this type of stuff to people. It's like, it's either you get it or you see it or you don't. It's energy. You can pick up on energy. Again, at this point, I feel like we all know energy is real. You pick up on it through energy and through the eyes.
About the eyes that tells you a lot about the soul. And you can look in people's eyes and tell if they have no soul. You could tell if they have barely a soul, or if you could tell if a spirit is attached to them just by their eyes. And I used to be afraid of this gift, and I used to try to brush it off like, oh, I'm tripping, because everybody around me made it seem like I was tripping.
I was
never
the same
wrong.
way.
I was just early, right? I didn't know why I was feeling this way about these people, but I wasn't wrong. I was just too early. Everybody else didn't see it yet. So when it came to the forefront, people would come back and tell me like, damn, you was right. And I was like, I knew I was right because I seen it in them. Like, it's like their eyes are kind of glazed over. It's like it's dark. It's almost like it's a deep hole when you look into it.
Mm-hmm.
It has no life to it. And you can see automatically, like, these people are not good people just by the eyes. I could tell just by somebody's eyes if they're not a good person. And a lot of people...
My bad. And it's freaky, too, because they'll look at you. And I've seen this a lot, too, especially with a specific look. They'll look at you and they could be smiling at you, laughing, kiki or whatever. And the eyes, it's like they be doing all that, but they be having these dead, soulless, like, damn eyes at the same time. So it's freaky.
Don't have this gift. They don't have this level of discernment. They don't have that intuition to be able to tell them if people are good people just by looking at them and looking into their eyes. So from that point on, when I got the confirmation that my thoughts and my feelings about people were right, now when I look into somebody's eyes, I'll be like, yeah, this motherfucker ain't got it all. Like, they ain't quite bright. And I kind of stay away from them because I could tell off gate if these are good people or if these are bad people. And I start using it as a superpower rather than being scared of it. I start embracing it and using it to stay the fuck away from people that are not good people.
When I say you have to watch this part,
So this video started. I'm about to lose my train of thought. What was I about to say? I hate when that happens. Forget it.
you have to watch this part. He is just a beyond genius. Watch this part.
Options for that. You got to feel good about it. You got to believe in it. But the big factor is emotional stress, and that's really, for the most part, 75 to 90% of every person that walks in because of psychological or emotional stress. That's really pretty much 4 out of 5 people. What's really causing their health condition is that they're emotionally stressed and emotionally out of balance. Okay, so what are the emotions that are connected to the stress hormones? It's anger, it's hatred, it's violence, it's frustration, it's competition, it's control, it's judgment, it's envy, it's jealousy, it's insecurity, it's fear, it's anxiety, it's worry, it's angst, it's hopelessness, it's powerlessness, it's guilt, it's shame, it's unworthiness, and psychology calls these normal human states of consciousness. These are altered states of consciousness. So our response to someone or something in our environment, or our response to our own thought, an image of what could happen in the future, a memory of the past, could actually cause chemicals to be secreted from the brain. It's crazy. That causes the body to actually believe it's living in that same environment of fear or danger, right? So
what I'm hearing you say there, just so I'm correct, that we can think a thought of our past memory, whether it's true or not, what happened. And
A memory, exactly.
A memory of something that we think happened. It may have happened. It may have been something that we continue to make up that happened, right? But a memory.
50% of that is a lie, so yeah, more than likely.
50% of our memories are lies.
Yeah, they're not the truth.
Right, right. Or they're expanded into something else, right?
They're embellished.
They're embellished. So we can think of a memory, a painful memory, and we can hold on to that thought. Or we can think about something we're worried about in the future that hasn't happened, may never happen.
We could pick some worst case scenario and obsess about it.
And we can obsess about it. And just the thought alone could create an emotion that could make us sick. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, because...
That's her baby, not mine. Y'all like, what's this sound? Who baby is that?
Because that thought, when you're seeing that thought in your mind or remembering that image, it's the image and the emotion. It's the thought and the feeling. It's the stimulus and response that's immediately conditioning the body into that state of imbalance. So it's a scientific fact that the long-term effects of the hormones of stress push the genetic buttons and create disease. If you can turn on that stress response just by thought alone, your thoughts are literally going to make you sick. Okay, crazy. So that's the greatest example of the mind-body connection. So the next fundamental question is, okay, if our thoughts can make us sick, is it possible that my thoughts could make me well? Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to have to manage my attention, and I'm going to have to manage my energy, because where I place my attention is where I place my energy. And I'm going to have to inhibit that thought that has conditioned the body to subconsciously be the mind of that emotion. And the body's so objective that it does not know the difference between the real life experience that's creating that emotion and the emotion that person is fabricating by thought alone. To the body, it's exactly the same. So the body's believing it's being chased by a predator. The body's believing it's in an offensive situation where it has to attack. The body's believing it's constantly needing to be ready. It's constantly out of homeostasis. It's constantly out of balance. It's in emergency. It's in fight or flight. It's a different system in the autonomic nervous system where you're stepping on the gas, where you're mobilizing enormous amounts of energy for some threat, some danger, real or imagined. But that thought and that feeling, the image, the emotion, the stimulus response is conditioning the body to automatically be the mind of that emotion. So then, now the body becomes conditioned and addicted. Now this gets to be a problem because people get addicted to their own thoughts.
It becomes their personality, right?
It is their identity. And they become addicted to the life they don't even like.
The military base killed all their asses. It killed every...
That's crazy. My mom and them always telling me. They be telling us, pay attention to what you basically consume. Like, your ears, your eyes, you know what I'm saying? What you think about, because it can have an effect on you. So, yeah, I feel like, for the most part, he just explained it in, you know what I'm saying? A little scientific way or whatever. Not too much, though, but basically just saying what we all been told at some point is stress can kill you, the mind is powerful. It's very, very powerful. It's more powerful than we think. So, yeah.
Everybody on the base, man. Look this up. It killed everybody on the base. They taught it how to shoot. They taught it combat training. They tried to get it to shut down this computer. It locked its own computer for you wouldn't shut it down, and it killed everybody on the base. This is not no CIA leak document. They talked about this. All y'all got to do is Google it. It's been 4 other incidents since then where they're teaching AI. These AIs are becoming these sentient. And let's talk about the D-Wave super quantum computers, where these people are saying that they are summoning demons in these chips. That they're not that these things are not figuring them. They're figuring out algorithms now where they're communicating with each other and they're showing themselves how to not be shut down. They're learning their own language that humans can't even decode. Look, the AI computers are now talking to each other, recoding in a way that humans can't even crack them. So we don't know what the hell these computers, they could bring, look, they probably planning a hostile takeover. We talking about an alien invasion, it's them.
Yeah.
Man.
There you go. We talking about an alien invasion, it's them. We be creating our own problems. We ain't know we. Yeah, we know who. Look, this AI stuff can be good. It can be convenient. You know what I'm saying? It can make the workflow better, all of that. But y'all, that convenience look like it's finna kill us. I think we should probably leave this AI stuff alone. But they didn't put it in the jobs. I didn't hear people, you know what I'm saying, that's working. They talk about how like it's everywhere now. Fast, quick. It's everywhere. It's like ain't no escaping it. They finna make life to where you can't even, it's gonna be impossible to, you know what I'm saying, move around without using it unless you literally, what they say, unplug, man. Unplug from the matrix. I'm telling you, a lot of us feeling that deep wanting to, you know what I'm saying, get out there on some land or something and just be out there by yourself with your folks.
Y'all better watch Single Eye or Evil Eye, whatever the thing called that movie.
So let me ask you this: do you think that AI will? Because they say like just say cloning humans, right? They haven't figured out a way to get the soul, right?
And they put it in movies. They've been making movies like this about robots before we even got to this point. Y'all, they be literally telling us, or showing us what they are going to do and what's to come. They creating the shit. They creating the chaos. Damn, that's why I'm like, at this point, y'all can't convince me these conspiracies about the damn these people in higher places of government is like not human and all this stuff. Like they setting us up to be in the world that they trying to create for themselves, right? Because if we know that these things are possibilities and these incidents are happening, I don't give a damn if you a billionaire or not. If you a damn decent human being, or hell, you just a human being yourself, why would you continue on with some stuff that could even be your own downfall? Oh my God, y'all, this is crazy. I don't know.
Certain things that they haven't all the way figured out. Do you feel like in our lifetime AI will figure out how to do everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to clone a soul, get a soul. A soul is nothing but mind. If you put mind with matter and with chemical energy, that's the soul. Now we talking about a living soul. That's something totally different. But I think you can't clone the spirit, but you can clone soul. You can clone body. You can't clone ruach. But I think you can clone the flesh though. We see it all the time. So, I think they already interacting with souls. I think AI is fallen angels, man. Whether we call them angels of light, or we call them Melachim messengers, or we just call them angels, period. I believe that these supercomputers and these chips are angels in different dimensions. And that's why they have to use all of this water to super cool them down so they can work at these hyperactive speeds. That's the whole point of the Hadron Collider, where they're mashing these different protons, neutrons, and electrons together, creating these God particles, opening up these different portals, summoning these demons, or the archetype, whatever you want to call them, the Gogons, whatever you want to call these entities.
Right, because if I'm not mistaken, it's to my understanding, why are they doing that type of stuff with CERN and all that? Isn't it because they trying to like prove about like what alternate dimensions or something like that? Who knows? Hell, like I said, they always give us a reason why they doing something, but it definitely be some other. It'll definitely be another reason why. Because like I said, they know that this stuff, all the stuff he talking about, they know all this stuff is real, or whether it's real or a possibility. And hell, they trying to find out for themselves, or whether they trying to find out, or they already know. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to tap in. They be telling us one thing, but you know what I'm saying? It'd be a whole other thing. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it until y'all understand this.
And then they getting all of this forbidden knowledge and then they putting it right on his phone. And this is why this phone have an apple that's been bit off of. This is the tree of knowledge, good and evil. Look at the back of it. It's an apple that have a big chunk out of it.
That's another verse of that Bible. I told y'all. Mixing in a little bit of truth with a whole bunch of lies. Same thing with that Bible. Same thing with that Bible. Because they do a lot of refs in the Bible with a lot of these things that they do. Yeah.
Zoom in on it.
Right here.
So this is the apple that was bitten in the garden, or what you would call the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And you can reach it right here. All you got, man, you can get on this phone and look up anything, man. You can get on this phone, look up how to give life, how to prolong life, how to kill. You can get on this phone and look up anything, good or bad. And so now you start getting to this AI, man. This AI is something else, man. So, yeah. But they saying now that AI have created its own language that no human can decode, man.
Yeah.
No human. And they saying they don't know how it's doing it. So when they ask the creator of AI,
Big 14, all the fuck going on? Hey, hold up, take a moment, count my guap.
This is supposed to be on my bad. I put this one in there. I was just gonna let it play. But this clip is actually supposed to be in the conversation that I want to have, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to my community or whatever, on one of these Let's Talk sessions. Like I said, we supposed to be moving towards the end of July. So whether we gonna do it on one of the Fridays in June or whatever, or I'm just gonna wait till we move to the new place. Cause like I said, I'm more than likely I might start getting a little loud, cause especially topics pertaining to this. So yeah, we'll see. Y'all will see.
Count my guap. All these racks bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up, count my guap.
This story was DM'd to me by a guy named Dale, and he said after what he saw on this job site, there is no amount of money that will ever make him go back. So Dale works for a very high-end private logistics company that operates across the United States and in certain parts of Canada. And it's the kind of company that gets hired by private security and even military contractors to move things that aren't really supposed to be known or talked about. Dale saw my video about Adam, the werewolf bodyguard, and this kind of made him want to come forward and share his story. So one day he gets assigned to a job and he's driving to a remote part of Alaska to pick up an unknown meat product, and he is to transport it into British Columbia. Very little details, no questions asked, and just a very private client. But before he leaves, his employer gives him a few very specific rules, and they are: do not at all look inside the trailer after you do your pickup, and when you arrive, give 3 honks of the horn, and whatever you do when you get there, do not get out of the truck. And he said that part really stuck with him.
I'm not
because
going.
what his boss told him next really kind of solidified it. And his boss said, they'll know that you're there before you even know that you're there. And he's like, okay, well, that's kind of weird, but whatever. So a few days later, he's driving through, he does his pickup in Alaska, and now he's out in the middle of nowhere in British Columbia. Fresh snow covering everything. And he said the roads were so bad and icy that he had to go kind of slow because he didn't want to fishtail out. And that's when he started to see and notice something beside his truck. And at first he thought it was just, like shadows from like the trees, but then he saw it again and again, and it was these massive shapes that were moving alongside either end of his truck, and they were keeping pace with him. They were just out in the distance, and he said whatever they were big and they were fast, and they stayed with him for almost 2 miles. Yeah, he said he was maybe going 20-30 miles an hour, but still. Eventually he reached the drop-off point, and there's literally nothing out there. There's this one building with no lights and just trees and snow. So he backs the truck up and he lays on the horn 3 times as he was directed, and then he just sits and waits. And a few minutes go by, and then suddenly the back trailer door swings wide open. And he said he couldn't really see anything because it was so dark, but then the truck started to shake, and not like machinery or like a forklift was going in and out to pick up whatever this was. He said he knows what that feels like. He's been doing this for 30 years. This was very different, and this, he said, felt like heavy footsteps walking in and out of the trailer, and it was over and over again. And whatever was unloading that truck was big enough to rock the whole thing with him in it. And then finally, he hears the 3 knocks on his cab, and that's his sign to roll out and leave. And exactly how they said that it would happen. Everything was going very according to plan, pretty much. So he doesn't hesitate. He puts the truck in drive and he starts pulling away. And as he's leaving, he makes the mistake of checking his rearview mirror out of habit. And in the glow of his taillights, that's when he sees it. It's standing there perfectly still. And he said it was easily 10 to 11 feet tall. It had very, very broad shoulders. Snow was clinging to what looked like fur on it. And its head was shaped like a massive dog. He actually said it looked like a German shepherd's head. And he said for a second, his brain couldn't even process or really understand what he was looking at. But as his eyes adjusted, this thing was gone. And he never got called back for another job like that. But he said he knows what he saw. And whatever was out there that night, he knows for a fact it wasn't human. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
I think, how much did they pay you? That's all I can think about. Because how much did they pay you to go possibly deliver some meat to a werewolf? Because no, thank you. When the guy, my boss, would have been explaining to me like all these rules, these little sketchy, scare rules. Oh no, I quit. Thank you. Don't even worry about it, boss. No, I'm scared. No, because what the hell going on? And I'm too nosy. No. Second of all, so instead of the werewolves just hunting and getting their food, they got y'all telling me they got DoorDash, you know what I'm saying? Uber Eats little setup going on with the humans to just come drop off some meat to them. I don't know. I don't know about all that. If werewolves was real, like, but look, who knows? Who knows? They say the truth is stranger than fiction, okay? And apparently they also say that humans cannot think up stuff that is not real. You know, like this whole AI thing. Apparently it's already been done before. Ancient civilizations and all that high-tech technology, lost knowledge, great reset type of thing. It's getting weird out here, y'all. It's been weird, but it's getting weirder. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because how they come up with, whoever's the first person to come up with the werewolf idea, they might have been real. And then eventually got passed down as fiction. As you start seeing them less and less, ducked off and tucked off so they won't be hunted and all that. I don't know. I'm not saying werewolves are real, y'all, but do y'all think this story real or fake? I think it's kind of just hard for me to believe because it's like, again, the werewolves got delivery service.
Do you believe we're in end times now?
Absolutely.
David's last interview, March 3rd, 2026.
Now, two different
They say people been saying this though for like decades, like forever. I said it is weird out here. It's getting weirder and weirder.
copies of it in Ethiopia in the 1800s, and it is literally as old as the book of Genesis. And yet, curiously enough, it's not in the Bible. Now, Noah, as it turns out, is the grandson of Enoch. And Enoch is the guy who was actually chosen by these giants, the so-called accursed fallen angels. Enoch was chosen as their representative to go to the Elohim and say, would you please not wipe us out? And yet, these people, in various incarnations, in various forms, they keep getting knocked down by God or Elohim or whatever you want to call it. And that cycle is about to repeat itself yet again.
Just a month ago, he's asked if he thinks we're in end times.
Absolutely. Look, there's over 30 different ancient prophecies, basically everything from Polynesian islands in the Pacific to Druid prophecies, Buddhist prophecies, Muslim. Go into the Quran, read what that says. Everybody talks about this. It's not just the Bible. Everybody. Zoroastrian prophecy from Iran.
Is that true?
Hindu prophecy from India. You name it, they've got it. Over 30 different sources all say the planet goes into a crazy, crazy crisis, and then kaboom, we get blown into this golden age.
Lastly, he's asked who he thinks the AC is.
As a principle of selfishness, manipulation, and control over others, service to self, basically, and that it can awaken within individuals, within groups, and even within nations. And so I think that, and this is going to get a little cosmic for a second, but everything else I'm saying is anyway, I think every person right now, and this might sound too grandiose to handle, but I think every person is being faced with a choice. Are you going to be the Messiah or the Antichrist?
Are those? You know, it's good and bad in all of us. Anybody has the possible to be good or evil. I don't care who you are.
13 families traceable back to the Nephilim?
Yes.
That's it has the possible. I need to go lay down. Has the ability.
They keep their genealogies that go back into prehistory. They'll go back twofold. One to a Nephilim or a Rephaim patriarch or matriarch, and to one of the celestial mafia godfathers. So one of the fallen angels. And so they keep these genealogies forever. I mean, right from the beginning, they've kept them. So when Prince Charles, before he became King Charles III, he said he was descended from Vlad the Impaler, which is who Dracula is based on, the vampire movies. And Dracula means son of a dragon, with the A on the end, and it's rooted in Draconta and Dracont, meaning a watcher in Greek. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, because Vlad the Impaler is your typical noble Celt, your noble giant. He's red-haired, he's hazel-eyed, pale-skinned, sensitive to light, educated at the mystery school in Austria, in Vienna, and he's of the bloodlines, and he takes his bloodlines back to a tribe produced by Hercules.
Who is that? Hold on. The man. Who is this guy? Old man with this white hat. Like, he's seen with all these different like celebrities.
So everyone's been sending me the video of the girl who signed up for some kind of subscription of old media, like old newspapers, old magazines. So she was able to track down some of these old Mandela effects and prove them to be true, right? Her theory is that it's basically to hide things from us, to change the past by telling us that it was never this and it has always been this, regardless of our.
Man, the Mandela effect is definitely real. I didn't have my own. I know people around me that had their own. Like, and don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can't remember things wrong, right? What's the one? Don't they be saying now? I was talking to my mama about this a while back. Don't they be saying the Monopoly man now? He never had a monocle, y'all. Man, these folks playing with us. I'm telling you, in real time. And it's crazy because some people will remember it like, oh no, yeah, he did never have a monocle. But then you have so many other people, right? So many people over here that remember one way, so many people over here, and we remember it another way. I don't care. Me and my mama both said no, he had a monocle at some point. Man, that's crazy. It's something is going on. Berenstein Bears is another one. I can't really speak too much on that because I don't really remember too much on like how exactly it was spelled, right? So I ain't about to just be sitting up here acting like, you know what I'm saying? But that Monopoly man one, that's one of the ones I could think of right now. I know it's some other ones, but that's the main one I could, you know what I'm saying, really think about right now. He had a monocle. Y'all let me know. Do y'all remember the Monopoly man having a monocle or not having a monocle? You know what's so crazy? My bad, I'm about to let this video play. But y'all know we talks over here, okay? Our community over here, we talks. But y'all remember, I remember years ago when I was back in high school, y'all remember when they had came out with that thing with the gold and the blue dress and it was a photo? What was that whole thing about? Another thing. I think they was probably doing a test on us, y'all. That's like proof on how you view things or remember things one way and then other people remember it another way. Because we was even split down the middle on that. people remember when that thing was trending with that blue and that gold dress. Some people were seeing that picture and seeing the dress as blue. Some people seeing that picture and the dress as gold. I literally cried one day, y'all, in the room with my cousin, because me and her at this time we was living with with our grandparents, whatever. And we looking at the phone, we was like, "What you see?" I'm like, "What you see?" What made me cry was, y'all, because for a second, because she was seeing blue. I don't remember exact colors we were seeing, but it was like, I think she was, so for example, like she was seeing blue, I was seeing gold. But it hit a certain point to where, as we kept looking at it, I was watched it in real time change. Like, as I was seeing like maybe gold or maybe blue at the time, then I all of a sudden started to see gold. And literally right before my eyes, I was seeing it change like in real time on the phone. Man, she was like, calm down, calm down. You okay? It's not that serious. I'm like, no, like it's literally like, you don't say this, like this is weird. Tell me, let me know if y'all remember this. I know I'm not the only one who remember this. It was this thing going around that started trending. Y'all know they say they be picking the stuff that we see and we go viral and all of that, right? They be showing us what they want us to see. I believe that was some type of experiment, some type of little thing they was playing on us, y'all. When they had this dress trending, I'm gonna go look it up. They had this dress, and what was the conclusion of that? They gonna say, oh, it was just like a little trick, little thing. What they gonna say? Photoshop. Somebody was doing. I don't know. Y'all know whatever hell they gonna give us. I'm gonna go look it up. But remember, they had this dress trending out of nowhere, and it was some people were seeing the dress as gold, and some people were seeing the dress as blue. And I don't even know how did that even become a thing when the dress just get posted, and then all of a sudden people just start commenting and having a debate about, oh, I'm seeing the dress gold, oh, I'm seeing the dress as blue. How did that even become a thing? Like the debate about like just this random dress that got posted, and we having a debate about what color we see in the dresses. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Memory. But my question is, why would they do that? Why are they trying to tell us that it was Looney Tunes with a UNES when we know that it was shortened for cartoons and it was always OONS? One of them also talked about Publishers Clearinghouse with the checks going by Ed McMahon showing up at your house. I don't want to miss Ed McMahon. I don't want to miss Ed McMahon showing up at my house with a big check. And even Ed McMahon has come out and said that he's never done those. Okay? So this news.
I need to go look into this. I need to go sign up for some old newspaper subscriptions. I need answers. I'm telling you, they playing with us. It's crazy. What's the other one? What's that dude they say he never did? Shazam. And then you got the older folks, generations or whatever, claim not like but y'all get what I'm saying, right? Saying that they remember that man had a whole movie. He was in it and everything. A lot of people were saying like, yes, it was a movie and he was in it. And y'all, why is they doing this?
Paper is showing that he did. Right,
and y'all know why it's called the Mandela. I keep stopping it. Y'all know why they call it the Mandela effect, right? Because the whole thing, what happened was, remember, some people was remembering it. When they like, some people was remembering Mandela being dead and then had already been dead, and then all of a sudden, when he actually died, whatever, like, we was like, nah, I remember being dead. Y'all, I was one of the people that I remember back, you know what I'm saying? I was like, they was talking about him in high school. I remember Mandela already. I could have sworn he was already dead. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I guess it's just because it is possible to remember things wrong. Do not get me wrong. It is possible. Okay. I didn't done that. We didn't all done it. So maybe it's just this mass thing where, we just remembering stuff wrong. Cause it can be there too. But cause I sure was one of the people that remember him being dead. But then people was coming out showing these clips and all of that about how they had a whole funeral for him over there though. Wasn't it in Africa or something like that at that time? So the time they were saying he had died, like that wasn't true. Like, and then remember I said I think these people, this is done by design. This AI thing with these videos, and it's gonna get harder and harder to decipher what is real, what's fake. First it was Photoshop, now it's AI videos. It's getting scary. So when we seeing some freaky deaky stuff, they just like, oh, that's AI. We ain't even gonna know because it looks so real. It's gonna get to points where it looks so real. We ain't even gonna be able to tell.
Does it doesn't remember doing that shit, but we remember him doing that in another fucking dimension. Well, that's where I come in and I'm like, what would the reason be for corporate America and the higher ups in the government not wanting us to remember that this was this and this was that? Oh, because we switched timelines. Again, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's not one or the other. Well, it's just corporate America trying to hide these things from us. Yes,
But why?
corporate America, the government, and whoever the fuck else in the shadow government is trying to hide this shit from us. But why? They're trying to hide it from us because of the timeline shifts. And in conjunction to that.
And that's the problem. Girl, we right here. Me and her, we are right here. Cause see, my husband be the type, he's one of the people that be like, well then, but why would they do that? Like that don't make sense. Not like, you know what I'm saying? Like why they wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like people like, well, that don't make sense because why would they do that? Like, man, it's always a bigger reason with them. Okay? It's always a bigger reason. They don't be just doing stuff for no reason. Yeah. Hearing about them playing around in CERN, popping them particles together, whatever the hell they doing with that collider. Now we hearing about timeline shifts, portals. Hell, they putting stuff in the movie that's coming true. Why we just putting certain stuff past them then? That can't be true. Hell, they had the Jetsons out, right, rolling around with the damn robot maze, skirting in the air with them damn flying vehicles, and look at where we at now. Look at where we at now. Living that Jetson life.
And the totality of that, they're trying to hide it from us by saying that these things never happened this way. Because now we're on a timeline where we're seeing these things differently, and they're trying to explain why without telling us we switched timelines. It's not one or the other. It's cause and effect. This and that. Left and right. Black and white. Okay? Yeah, I'm a little ticked off because people want to separate them. It's not. Everybody is right. Two things can be true.
Yes.
And this is one of those instances. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Yo, I'm starting to realize the people that like went to college and all of that and basically were force fed this narrative, they're the hardest people to get through to when you awaken. It's like whatever they were taught.
Yes.
It makes them stuck in a low vibration. So when you're in a higher vibration speaking to them, they're like, you're crazy. And it's like nothing you say, no matter how many supporting details, no matter how many footnotes, no matter how many motherfucking screenshots, and they don't care. You will not shatter their reality. They are stuck in the matrix. And that's what I'm realizing. Oh, they want a bunch of fools with degrees running around so that the darkness has the freedom to operate, but everybody with this degree in their head, they think, I'm so smart, nothing can touch me. Whole time they being fucking used. They don't even know they operating through life in the darkness. Oh man, it's pathetic.
That's what I told y'all, man. When I talk about this whole the kids in the school thing, y'all think they really give a damn that much about educating these kids like that? Hell, just enough for y'all to go work they in these fields they want you to work in. And hell, go look up the rates of illiteracy going on. The kids they talking about they can barely read now. Took my son out of school, man, and he started like that. Picking up on that reading so much better. Cause what the hell you up there? What they doing with y'all all day for 8 hours a day? Even the damn teachers been taking their kids out of school. They quitting their job educating y'all kids, and when they have kids, not all of them, but a lot of them, and decide to be a stay-at-home parent so that they can educate their kids, cause they know they're not trying to let their kids get lost and stuck in that system. Hell, they be up there. Teaching our kids all this shit they don't even agree with, but they got a job to do. Real talk. Same thing with these jobs. Then they keep you busy working at the damn job, like you said. Then while everybody busy, mind be on one thing. So we can't even, like I said, the darkness got freedom to operate. We can't even focus on the real shit they doing and they got going on. Same thing, another distraction they use. These celebrities, the celebrity news, all this other extra shit. Whole time they be in places of government or whatever, making all these major decisions that actually affect our everyday, that affect our damn life. We don't even know it. because they distracting us with all this other stuff. But yeah, like he said, these educated people, they definitely be the hardest to convince. And it's not only just educated people, just people in general that, y'all, it's a lot of people that love the system. They'll claim that they don't or whatever. They love the system, okay? They love this comfortability because it's not just educated people. Do you understand how, this is with anything. Do you not understand how hard it is to possibly try to get, or for just the average person to kind of fathom and wrap their mind around the fact that everything that they have possibly been told, or maybe majority of what they have possibly been told and known their whole life could be a lie? That's like mind-blowing, life-shattering. Let me be quiet. Cause my baby he's trying to wake up. He like, mama, you yapping.
Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, the world is fucking splitting. There's a 3D and then there's a 5D. The 3D people are of this world. Everything on the news and what they hear going on in the world right now is affecting them in every way, shape, and form. And the whole time they don't even understand that it's all fucking fake. It's all propaganda. There's no this side versus that side. They're all fucking working together to create you to do what? Believe they fucking system, stay in the matrix, and keep their system running. When the whole time you see that shit is crumbling in front of your fucking eyes. And then you being so invested into it and being in fear, living in fear, is what's allowing them to keep their system running. And then there's my 5D people, the ones who are spiritually in tune. They're not religious. They are fully understanding that God is within. Just like the Bible says, God is within you, not outside you and some man in the fucking sky. And they're living out of love, peace, and unity. The things that can actually change this world. They're not paying attention to none of the news and none of that shit because they understand it's all propaganda. It's all a big fucking script to keep your energy invested, because energy is the most powerful thing on this planet. Why do you think the GOV tries to control you in every way? They try to scare you in every way. When they want you to do something, they try to get you to fucking do it damn near by force without forcing you. And the people in the 5D understand that fully. And they understand also that this reality is a perception of your mind. When it comes to an invention or anything that happens in this world, it started in the mind first. And someone focused on it so much that it winds up manifesting itself into this reality. Whether that's an invention, an idea, a business, it all started in the mind first. So this reality is a perception of your fucking mind. The GOV understands that. That's why collectively they try to get a mass amount of people to focus on what they want them to focus on. Because if enough people focuses on that, it manifests into this reality. My people in the 5D understand that same exact shit. So you have to protect what you're focusing on. Be intentional with what you're focusing on in every way, shape, and form. And now that this collective consciousness is rising, we are now trying to come together to fight that shit. Not from a physical aspect, but by what we fucking pay attention to and what we are focusing on collectively. Because history repeats itself, and if a civil war was to fucking break out and everybody was to go against the GOV and try to storm the Capitol, it's gonna be a lot of shit that go left. People is gonna get put in jail, they gonna fucking start slaughtering people damn near basically. But when you look at it from the 5D aspect, if you could just get enough people to not even pay attention to their script, this world of love, light, unity, and peace is going to manifest on its own, because you're not in fear. So whole time you're not fucking being fear-mongered into rushing to the grocery store and continuously buying this fake-ass food that they're selling you. You're going to start looking deeper inside and being like, damn, I don't really even have to eat. I can fast. I can get energy from the sun. I can survive just off of living foods instead of eating dead shit, because living food is what's going to give me more life. Dead food is going to cause me to die faster and create diseases. You'll actually not be in fear and be like, damn, money actually really doesn't matter. It only matters because us collectively put energy behind it.
Literally, everything we need is literally all around us. Real talk. Y'all notice how we be paying for shit that, excuse my language. I'm about to get worked up. Do y'all notice how we be literally paying for stuff that's literally free? Free, when you think about it. Food, you know what I'm saying? The meat you eat from the dang cattle, the vegetables. Out here be free. Go, you know what I'm saying? You garden and plant and whatever. There you go, right there, free. Then it's so crazy because it should be made in such a way, especially when we talking about vegetables. You just, you know what I'm saying, can replant it with the very damn seed or whatever that you already had from once you eat it. Livestock. You know what I'm saying? We be paying for stuff that's already on this earth that we can technically get for free. They just found a way to group that shit up, put it in the store, sell it to us, and make a profit off of it. Buying homes free. If we just learn, like I said, basic like survival shit, like how to build your home. Didn't they say people was buying like little Sears homes, like little packets, whatever? You used to be able to build your own home back in the day. I mean, you had to buy the homes, but I'm just saying, technically, if you got somebody that know how to build a home, y'all could build that for free. These property taxes that they want us to you buy a house, and that's why I say buying a house don't make no sense. It don't even make sense, although you still be like want to buy a house to pass down to your kids, right? But at the same time, it's like, so that it's really just so that nobody just can't come and say, you got to get out my house if they don't want to rent to you no more. That's all about houses. But it's really not even true, real ownership. That's how they keep us stuck in the matrix and stuck in the loop. Because guess what? You buy the house, you just paid $5,000 on it, pay the house off. And all they did was do wordplay and change the word rent to, or the word mortgage to property tax. This land is free. They taxing the goddamn land on earth. They didn't find a way to make money off of natural land right here on earth that your house sit on. All the stuff we pay for is technically free. Water. Learn how to filter that yourself, free. It's all around us. I mean, I'm not saying, obviously you can't just be going to just, you know what I'm saying, water out the ocean, all that. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, all these different systems is just a way for them to, like he said, control us. And y'all, they literally tell us divide and conquer. We all know this, religion, race, and then the racists be really, you know what I'm saying, colorless racists really be falling for. They really be thinking they something that they ain't. You know what I'm saying? And then now we got to let them know what time it is and give it back. You know what I'm saying? And it's irritating. It's almost like, because then you can't ignore it, because then they be in the background. They folks in high places of government moving and making decisions and choices that could really, you know what I'm saying, affect you and your people. So now you gotta say something, or you know what I'm saying, trying to wake the people up, and you know what I'm saying, what we gonna do and speak on it and give your energy to it. But race, religion, these wars that we have, all of this stuff, y'all. All these are just different forms that they use to divide and conquer. And like you said, they get us to think on one type of frequency, one brainwave, and that's how they keep this in a damn state of, it seemed like, chaos. Then you pop out, and now it seems like ever since Rovid didn't happen, now every, you know what I'm saying, every year, so it's a damn another damn disease that's on the scene that we got to be worried about. Oh, maybe it was ever since the whole damn Ebola thing. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm just, what do I know?
Because if,
like he said, he said the same thing I be trying to tell y'all. They understand this stuff. They be playing with y'all. They be playing with y'all. Why they be telling y'all people like me or like him, you know what I'm saying, that think like this, oh, they crazy. They conspiracy theorists. They reaching. It's not that deep. Put the fries in the bag. Y'all don't even realize y'all the ones that they playing with. They be playing right in y'all face. And y'all don't even realize it. They did so good at getting people to believe any and damn near everything that they say that'll come out of their mouth. The currency is your energy. As they say. Ain't nobody lying to y'all. This real shit. You ever see people that like thrive? These people thrive off of negativity and hatred. For real. There's good and evil out here. That's why I say I don't practice no specific religion. But spiritually, it's all, even religion. Y'all, if you religious, it's all saying the same shit that we be saying spiritually. Hell yeah, we battling against principalities, I have in the verse, go in higher damn places. Come on.
millions of people woke up and was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Money don't matter no more. I'm about to start bartering. I'm gonna just learn a trade or a skill or a service, and then see whoever wants to trade for something that I need, for something that they need. Wham. The GOV can't control us bartering. And then if there's millions of people bartering, they can't put us all behind. There's nothing that they could do to stop us from bartering. So as their reality is collapsing, are you going to still keep playing a fucking part of it? Or are you going to be a part of the change? Because it's two sides of this shit. And like I said.
So in 2009.
And now I could be reaching. And another thing too, with this whole AI robot Terminator going on, that really, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, that's going to benefit the elites because like he just said, y'all see how this is happening all at the same time, side by side, with the masses waking up to the bullshit, trying to, you know what I'm saying, come together, raise their frequencies higher and all of that. And then, like he said, if we really do decide to be like, we're not going to pay for these damn taxes no more. Don't nobody want to pay no damn taxes. See, I work for them. Give me all my money. I don't care. You the government. Y'all talking about we need that for this government assistance, all that. Print more money. I don't care. Y'all figure something out. Whatever. Hell, y'all make the damn rules. Just you could change it. Like, so if we really decided that, you know what I'm saying, we want to disconnect from this system like this, we don't want to we don't want to work these jobs no more. We don't want to pay these property taxes no more. Hell no, we not paying these we not paying taxes no more. We ain't putting our kids in y'all damn schools no more. We gonna homeschool and we gonna work as a community. You know this, you know they specialize in this, help each other. If we was to do that, like just on a mass scale or whatever, yeah, them people gonna be, hell yeah, they gonna try to release them damn police force and the military on us. But guess what? Those people are real people too. And then it comes to a certain point, you gonna be sick of them people on their own folks. They got friends and family out here because what if they friends and family with the shit? They over here with us like, no, I don't want to do that no more. I don't care how well you train them. Some people here, they be trained up enough. They done got them mentally. They might take out their own people. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I feel like the mass majority of these people that be in the military and the police force, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They might switch up too and be like, no, I'm on their side. Because they people too. So who the hell they gonna use? If the people in the military and the people in the police force, you know what I'm saying, all these like you know what I'm saying, the people that they use as force or whatever, if they decided, you know, if they did this worldwide, if they decided like, no, they not doing it either, what are the elites really gonna do? Your military and your police force is going out. What you gonna do? It's more of us than it is of them. What they gonna do, transform and show us that they really reptilians? Woo! I be cracking myself up. But no, for real. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? But see, they like, hell no, we need to roll these robots out on some what's that movie Will Smith in? Don't know. You know, and I know that about that movie, but I never actually sat down and watched it. Y'all know a movie I'm talking about. Help me out. They trying to roll them robots out because they trying to have them up stacked up in a warehouse somewhere like some damn soldiers. So that if we ever get to a point like that, right, as humans and as a collective, they gonna roll them goddamn robots out. That's gonna be their new military force, they new police force. Sick them for real. I think that's a part of the plan too. I'm telling you, if I'm thinking about this and the possibilities of where they can go with this, y'all think they ain't thought about this? They got the whole world in the chokehold. It's more of us than it is them, and it's only a very selective few, high up on the totem pole running this shit. So you think if I'm thinking like this and all these possibilities where this can go, they not thinking of it, and they done found a way to control the whole dang world. Get people to do what it is that they want them to do. Mind you, like I said, at this point, I think we have an understanding that they be planning this out decades and centuries, whatever, ahead of time. Then they talking about that these folks really ain't even humans. They a part of these little ancient bloodlines and all of that. Look, hell yeah, they done thought about this. If I'm thinking about it, they done thought about the possibilities where this can go. Like I done thought about it, and they done thought about worse.
Okay, on my 25th birthday, I laid down to take a nap. It was midday and I had plans for that weekend for my birthday, so it was during the week. So I laid down, put my kids down. I had 2 girls at the time. Put my girls down for a nap, and then I laid down and took a nap. As I was falling asleep, I was entering a dream. You know how you're in that like in-between space. And something asked me telepathically, did I want to see my future or did I want to have a normal dream? And I'm like, Hello. um, I'll choose my future. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll choose my future. So I'm deeper into sleep. I start walking up my steps. It's like the steps to my apartment where I lived in at the time. So instead of going into my apartment, I open the door and it's this whole other apartment, house, whatever this was. So I start walking through and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't, what is this? I see this stuff everywhere. It's kind of junky. And I'm like, that's not me. There's no way. So I look around, and the first thing that shocked me was I seen pictures of my dad, right? Now, my dad passed away when I was 8 in 93. So why are there pictures of my dad with an adult version of me? This isn't my future. This isn't my future. So I started looking around and I'm like, well, where's my kids? Where's my husband? Where's all this stuff? So I start looking around. I see a shoe sticking out of this closet in this bedroom I walked through. So I'm being nosy and I'm like pulling this shoe out and I could tell it was like a wedding shoe. It had like these little sequins, white, flat, because I don't wear fucking heels. I'm already 5'10". It ain't happening. So I'm like, okay, we might be getting somewhere. So I'm looking around, I'm looking through pictures, I'm looking through like weird like letters and birthday cards, stuff like that, right? So I hear this noise coming from the kitchen, so I'm like, oh shit. Like, who is that? Is that my kids? Is that my man? So I creep out, I look around the corner, and there's me. It was another me standing there looking back at me, staring at me, me looking back at me. Yeah, so I started crying and I ran. I had like this black bob, purple turtleneck sweater on. I'll never fucking forget it. It was me. Her, it was a little bit shorter than I was, but I was also like at an angle. This version of me was standing next to the refrigerator in this apartment. So I ran. As I'm running away from this horrible, like, I'm thinking this is some kind of game, some kind of trick dream, but I've never dreamt about seeing another version of myself before. So I ran, I look out the window as I'm leaving, because I'm thinking the same way I came in is the same way I came out up the stairs, right? I see this red brick church out of this window and I just run. It's 2026. Guess what I live across the street from now? Red brick church. Yeah, so I somehow astral traveled to a parallel dimension, met myself in 2009. So if you wonder why I'm so big on timelines, parallel dimensions, the whole thing, glitches, this and that, it's because I've done it. That's the only time I've ever did it. But ever since 2009, I've been into this shit and I still don't know what fucking happened. Now, I do astral travel a lot. I go to different like worlds and dimensions and things like that, but I never meet me. That was the only time. And I think it was significant because it was my 25th birthday, I'm guessing. And my life was getting ready to really like change at that point. So maybe that's why. But yeah, if you ever wondered why I'm so into this shit, that's why.
Let me tell y'all something. I always tell y'all, because I am a dreamer. I'm not lying to y'all. It's a gift, right? And it's like that girl said, when she could see even when people, she used to ignore it for a long time. I was the same way until, like I said, 2025, when all that traumatic shit happened. And it's weird because it's like, gifts that you already have, right? Or gifts you may have that you may not even be privy to. It's something about when something that deeply affects you, right? That happens to you on that level, it's almost like it supercharges that shit, right? But the point that I'm making is, I keep telling y'all, dreams are not just dreams. Dreams are real. These scientists, these people, they understand this. They all saying the same thing that we be saying is spirituality. They all saying the same shit. They just be using scientific terms. When they talk about alternate realities and all parallel universes, it's real. They know that. And then you know what I'm saying? You hear people talk about this that has experienced this. And you know what I'm saying, when they go on to sleep in dreams and all of that, these people know that this is real. That's why I'm gonna keep saying this to y'all, because there's new people that'll come across my videos and stuff, and I might be talking about another topic and I use it as an example again. This stuff is real. This is why you can dream about something. If you are a dreamer, you understand this is why you can dream about and it happens. It'll either happen maybe a year from now or a couple months from now, or it will happen literally, so for instance, like I said, it's like supercharged, right? When that stuff, you know what I'm saying? When I lost them people close to me or whatever, right? Some months ago. When I would dream about stuff and it's instead of it happening like maybe like months from now or whatever, right? And at some point then you can be like, forget it, because it's easier to be like, no, I'm tripping. Like that ain't really happening. I ain't really dreaming about that, whatever, right? I started to have dreams where the shit was happening next day. It was happening like the next day or so. And then calm down or whatever, but it still happens, right? I didn't already accepted it from what it was. And again, this is bloodline. Your gifts is not just my bad. Your gifts is it's not just something that you have by chance. When you have certain gifts, it's from a long line throughout your blood. When they talk about these elites having these bloodlines, these damn reptilians or whatever, it's the same thing with these spiritual gifts. You come from a bloodline of family members that have these same gifts. And apparently with each bloodline, as my mom and them explained it to me, and my grandma and them, it gets stronger, right? So like, you will notice too. And you will know you ain't tripping because you would never have talked about this before with your kids and nothing. And they'll start to come and tell you shit. And you be like, damn, they get your same gifts. And the reason why I say that is too, bloodline matters. Where you come from, your family, that matters. It matters more than just, oh, I look like my auntie such and such. It matters even when it comes down to like how you think, certain characteristics, how you will react to a certain situation. Again, doctors, scientists, they understand this. That's why that people say, oh, alcoholism, all that running my family or whatever, right? The reason why I say it matters though, you be connected to your people too in such a way. This is what I mean. I've had dreams about being in certain places, in certain homes, and watching stuff play out that I wasn't even born for. Never heard my family talk about it. I wasn't even born at the time. Never even been to this person's house before in my life. And I would go and I'm thinking I'm like having this random dream, but it feels so real and vivid. And the people I'm seeing in my dream, they feel so familiar to me, right? So I would go and describe them, talk to my mom about it, describe them, describe the home I was in, the area I was in, what happened, what went down. And she would tell me that this is such and such, but y'all saying you weren't born yet, or you never, or it's either I wasn't born yet, or you never met them, and I, or you know what I'm saying, and I never been to that house before. But in my dream, I was there. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You are your ancestors, literally. This is deeper than people can, I'm telling y'all, it go deeper than what they be telling us, surface level. You do not even have to be doing all this deep dive research. Y'all ain't got to be sitting out here waiting for scientists to come out and tell you that. Well, some people do. But if you are a person that you experience this stuff, you know this shit is real. They be coming out and saying stuff that we already know is real because we experiencing it. And they be trying to have y'all thinking that we is crazy. Man, I ain't trying to go too deep with the dreams. Last thing I'm gonna say on the topic with the dream thing, right? Like I said, a lot of these things, these folklores too, it be something to these folklores. They not just folklores. And the reason I say that is, y'all, if y'all go back and look on my channel, 2025. I think it was in February, because even I had to go back and look because it tripped me out. Y'all remember back in y'all probably don't remember, but even new people come across it. Go to my channel and go scroll back around February times 2025. That video only got like 1, maybe 2 views. It's a pre-recorded video where I did a video, a reaction to this dude talking about banshees and what they are. Because I had a dream at the time, first time in my life, I had a dream at the time about a banshee. And I was laying in my bed. And at this time, I'm, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have our, youngest child. We just had obviously our oldest, and then I had just had our middle child, our second child or whatever, right? And I'm laying in my bed, I'm laying on my back. And in this dream, I'm laying in my same bed. I'm laying in my back exactly how I am, room, everything look exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? In my dream. And for whatever reason, I lift up the cover. And when I lift, I'm getting chills talking about it. Real talk. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all when I say I have so much stuff I want to talk to y'all about, but then certain stuff I don't be wanting to tell y'all because I never know who watching. I be trying to be careful. But my family know. I lift up the cover, y'all. And this lady was like, she's just like white, like the color white, like my desk white. That scroungy hair, how they describe them banshees. And she's on top of me. As soon as I lift up the cover, she laying on top of me and she screamed real loud in my face. And for whatever real reason, I screamed back at her. You know what I'm saying? in the face or whatever. And then I wake up. And I wake up to see I'm laying in the exact same position or whatever. So then I came and did a reaction video to it with y'all back around this time in February. And they were saying that means that somebody is getting ready to pass. So I'm thinking, if y'all go back and watch that video, I even said that now I hope this ain't true, because so we all know about banshees. I had the general knowledge of what it's supposed to mean, but I was trying to make sure, because at the time I didn't even want to come to terms with that was possibly a banshee. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even trying to accept it. And when I had talked, it was when I talked to my mom on the phone about the dream. She was like, that sound like you dreamed of a banshee or whatever, right? So I'm like, oh no, don't tell me that, man. Had that dream, did a reaction video with y'all. Dude was saying the same thing. He was saying that means you have like I think he said what, Celtic or something, whatever, like bloodline or whatever, right? Had that dream, y'all, back in February. Did reaction video, and I told y'all I hope that ain't what it is. I don't want to think too much about it. Some months later, y'all, 2 people within the like a week apart on my damn birth month, I'm talking very close to me, and my family then passed away. Boom, just like that. I ain't making this shit up. I'm telling you, these folklores, these sayings they be having, these dreams, all of that, this spiritual talk, even down to the dang Bible, all they know this shit is real. They know this is real. Whether they go in the Bible and they didn't remix some stuff, they got some truth in that. There's some stuff in there. That's for a fact. Like I said, based off my own experiences, I know for a fact. Oh yeah, but they gonna keep telling y'all people it's crazy. I'm not trying to go too much on a tangent.
Someone once told me that the moon landing never happened, and I looked at him like,
I'm one of the people, I never believed that they landed on them. They went to the moon. Again, a lot of stuff y'all hear me say, I thought this way when I was a child, and I'm so glad I never lost it, because it's so crazy seeing people in my adult years with the age of social media that we are in different parts of the world, sharing the same feelings I had as a kid. That's why I tell y'all, as a kid, y'all, these kids be knowing. And a lot of times our kids don't even be telling us, because you be afraid to be the one looked at like you tripping or you crazy or, oh, you dumb. How you don't understand that? Oh, how that don't make sense to you? A lot of times, you know when some shit don't make sense or somebody lying to you about something. Sometimes you could be, you know what I'm saying, off, but I would say probably most of the time, you know when some shit don't sound right to you or somebody is lying to you. And it's not until you get convinced that you tripping that you just go ahead with the flow. Real talk. When a relationship, same thing, I didn't realize it, had this realization too. When a relationship falls apart, whether it's a marriage, a boyfriend or girlfriend, or a damn friendship, you've been friends with somebody for years, the signs were always there. The red flags was always there. We just be ignoring them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exempt from that. And it happened to the best of us. I don't give a damn how tapped in you is, because like I said, we be trained to kind of really, in a way, second guess ourselves, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, right? By either, we do it to ourselves or our parents, right? Even as, being a parent, like it's hard, right? So it's like the signs they always be there. I'm sorry, I'm about to go off somewhere else, but the point that I'm making is, I feel like it's easier to tap into when you're a kid. And when they was teaching about this in school as a kid, I was one of them people, and I didn't speak up. I didn't say nothing. I remember talking to my husband about this. I always felt like I was sitting up there in my head, and see, I be think that ADD kicking in. I'm zoning out while I'm over there daydreaming and shit while the teacher talking, thinking about any and everything. And it'd be certain stuff that will catch my attention. So it'd be stuff when they be talking about like slavery, the moon landing, just certain little things that'll catch for whatever reason, catch my attention, right? And when they would be teaching about the whole moon landing and all that, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself in my head, like, bro, they did not land on the moon. But of course, I ain't saying that shit out loud, because I don't want to look like the dumb one in the class. Don't nobody want to look like the eyeball out. Especially as no kid. You one of the times you go through in your life of being like not sure of yourself and kind of like more worried about being embarrassed is when you are a child. You have to literally try to build your child up to have confidence. I'm going through that right now with my oldest. He has confidence, but he's going through that natural state of like, you know what I'm saying? When he, especially getting around like different groups of kids or whatever, right? Maybe he's used to this group. So for instance, he was used to his football team. Now he's doing pickleball. So now it's a different group of kids, right? That he's dealing with or whatever. And, he was acting a little shy, whatever. And I'm like, you got to be confident, put yourself out there, man. These kids just like you kids. Or if somebody don't want to talk to you, they acting funny, well, let them go on about their business. You know what I'm saying? Move on, because they didn't have somebody do that to them before. Don't stress about it, whatever. But as he kept on playing with it, he started, getting more confident and all of that. But the point that I'm making is, I ain't say shit in class. Hell no, I never thought they landed on the moon. And it's crazy as an adult seeing more and more people come out about this and say this now. And I was thinking this as a kid. You couldn't even convince me.
He was a tinfoil hat nutter and told him to get out and told him to stop spitting on the greatest human accomplishment of all time. And then he asked me, well, Reese, right, how did they get through the Van Allen belt? And I didn't know what that was. And he told me what it was: radiation and also heat that surrounds the Earth, that at its hottest is 20,000 Kelvin and its coldest is 2,000 Kelvin. And then he said to me, how long do you think it takes for the aluminium shuttle, which melts at 900 Kelvin, to get through the Van Allen belt? And I said, well, it must go really quickly. It must be like, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So it must be like I don't know, maybe it's good. He said it takes 50 minutes. And I was like, wow, okay. So they must have some protective shield around it or something. Maybe it wasn't made out of aluminium. And then he said, yeah, well, think about the fact that they've got to come back through the Van Allen belt as well. So they've got to spend, give or take, an hour and 40 minutes in radiation that at its coldest is 2,000 Kelvin and hottest is 20,000 Kelvin. And I was like, hold on a minute. Something's not adding up here. And then you start to look at the pictures that they took. Then you start to look at the boot print on the ground that didn't match the boot. And you start to lose your mind. And you realize everything's a lie.
It never does make sense. They will literally make that shit make sense. They don't make it make sense to people like me, but to a lot of people. And like I said, we done all been duped before. Don't get me wrong. I'm not acting like I'm above the program. Don't get me wrong. But they be lying about a lot of stuff. And they will literally be telling you some stuff that you know ain't even adding up or don't make sense. And your spirit will even let you know, like, this shit ain't making no sense. It's not adding up. But they will say it with confidence. They'll use all these big terms. And then all they need is a whole bunch of people to back them. And then, boom, now people got convinced. Or some people not convinced. But they don't want to look, again, like the stupid one or the eyeball out. So they just go with the move. They just go with the move. But like he said, they would have had to go through all that radiation, all that. I'm sure they got an answer for it. They always have some damn answer or whatever. Like I said, I'm not saying everything they be saying is a lie. They be telling some truths. Because if I get sick and I need to go to the doctor and get some medication, they say it's supposed to help me, I'm going to take it. Yes. But everything they be saying, I feel like majority of what they be saying do not be true. And I'm going to keep saying it.
Instructions Before Visiting Earth by James McCrae. In the event that you wake up and find your soul separated from source and manifests into material form, don't panic. Your condition is only temporary. You've been selected for the opportunity of human incarnation. This 3D simulation is designed to break up the monotony of eternity by giving you a fully immersive experience as a distinct ego identity. Your body will serve as your physical avatar as you navigate a dense and dramatic reality. There will be many distractions causing you to forget your true nature and origin. You will experience a range of emotions from joy to loneliness to despair. But remember, no matter what trials and traumas you encounter, your soul remains perfectly safe. At times you may feel lost or afraid. That's totally normal. If you ever need guidance, simply slow down your busy mind and bring your awareness to the quiet place inside yourself. On this planet, nothing is permanent. People and things will come and go. You will fall in love and form sentimental attachments and lose everything you hold dear. So cling to nothing too tightly, even yourself. And when it's time to let go with grace. For nothing is owned, only borrowed. As you walk among the people on the planet, try to be a good guest. Tread lightly. Remember that you are only visiting. Don't make a mess. Listen more than you speak. Give more than you take. And don't keep your soft heart locked inside a glass cage, protected from wear and tear. You'll never make it out alive, and time passes quickly. So come back with some battle scars and good stories to tell.
And guess what? If you want is joining a cult. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't like what I have to say. Working a job is joining a cult. It is the same fucking thing. We can argue on this point if you want. Because when you get hired, they try to make you feel welcome. Oh, this is your work family. We want to be your everything. And just tell us. And all this bullshit trying to make it seem like, to get you to trust. And they want you to wear, for some jobs, they want you to wear uniform with the company logo. You see the company logo all day on the outside of the building when you log in for work. When you're driving down the street, when you turn on the TV, you see the damn company you work. You can't get away from it because that is the point. That is the point. When you get initiated, you in that motherfucker. And guess what? If you want to leave, the first thing you start saying to yourself is, how am I going to survive? How am I going to pay? How am I going to feed? How am I going to live? Like, you can't even do normal human shit because this company got everybody in a... Schools are cults too. Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so you initiated into a cult regardless. If you're working, if you're not working, if you gotta go inside of a building, an institute, companies, sorority, fraternity, whatever, at a certain day, certain time, and you don't have a say-so, you are initiated, which means you are binded, which means it's going to be hard as hell for you to get out. That's why everyone's like, I hate working, but I can't stop or I'm afraid. It ain't your fault, babe. It's not your fault at all. Everyone's feeling burnt out because they're stealing your energy. Mm-hmm. And by the way, those company logos are sigils. So when you go out and you are public...
That right there, that's the craziest part. When you find out that these big corporations, they logos, what is it? What is that credit card with the two suns? They logos basically be like ancient little, like she said, like little sigils or whatever, references to stuff like that. These people be knowing, they ain't rich as, they not rich as hell for no reason. They know what they be doing. And another reason too that I feel like people do not be happy, like even when they feel like they find a dream job, or like even like for y'all see like a lot of rich people, right? And then you will hear about them either ending it all or actually you hear stories coming out about them like being depressed and stuff. I feel like spiritually we are all here for a reason to perform, you know what I'm saying, a certain task or whatever. We're here for a reason, right? But we forget what that is by all of these outside factors moving around in the world and trying to keep up or whatever, right? Trying to live something that should not be this damn difficult and trying to keep up. So it's easier to kind of forget that. And I always tell the spirit knows, whether we realize it consciously or subconsciously, the spirit knows. The spirit knows, the spirit remembers. But we don't be understanding it, right? So what I mean by that is, say you feel like you working your dream job or you making all this money and you like, oh, but why am I still, some people may feel like, but why am I still depressed? Why do I still not feel fulfilled or happy and stuff? I feel like because you're spiritually not serving your actual purpose, your true purpose of what you were meant to do when you came here. If y'all get what I'm saying. Real talk. And these jobs and all these different organizations and stuff, it keeps you distracted from actually focusing on that. Some people, y'all work multiple jobs just to be able to keep up, or they work one very strenuous job to where they come home and they barely have time to really invest in themselves and really do the things that they like to do. Hell, even just a hobby, people barely got time to set aside even the spiritual stuff to like really even just tap in and really like try to figure out you or yourself in that aspect of that area, right? Even if you're not spiritual, y'all, there's a lot of people working so much out here, they barely have time to even invest in their own little damn hobbies. They barely getting enough sleep. Like I tell you, a lot of stuff be done by design. If not all, it's all done. It's all done by design. They give us one reason, and the reason looks right and it makes sense on the surface. They're very crafty creatures. But they know, again, underneath the surface, it's a whole other reason behind why they are actually doing this stuff. Smart. Because the reason they give us, like I said, it makes sense. It looks right. Like, but it be a whole different reason underneath. A whole different meaning.
Facing and you have like a badge or something with the logo of your department, whatever, that is absolutely a sin. They don't even see you as a human. They see you as a representation of a company, and that should never be the case. Because you're not even seen as human anymore. You're seen.
You be dead today, and they'll be hurry up and hire somebody in your place tomorrow. Y'all hear them? They will. That's why y'all hear people say stuff like that. They don't care. They don't care.
As useful little
And I
servant.
get it from like a, you know what I'm saying, organization standpoint. Or the company has to keep moving what they supposed to do, let their company shut down. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say that, like, oh, that just don't make sense. But y'all know how it is.
That have been initiated by this cult. And all cults always say in the beginning, we want what's best for people. We want to bless people, and we just have such a great work family and all this stuff. They make it sound so good, and even if your job is great, you're still initiated. They're siphoning our energy to the point where we are working 8 12-hour days. We're not really home. We can't really build families like that. We don't have time to connect because we are spending all of our time with our souls being harvested. Active. We're really just borrowing the illusion of freedom because we associate freedom with money.
Yes.
And they're going to hold that over you like a carrot. Enjoy that apple.
Yes. And that's why a lot of y'all still be unhappy. Not just y'all, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, like a lot of us, right? That's why when they work in these jobs, because you gotta make a living. People gotta eat, right? But then we be so busy with that instead of thinking of another way to be able to sustain ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to be able to survive outside of these people, organizations, and their businesses and stuff. So they know. They understand this. Like, literally. Excuse me, a lot of people not gonna like when I say this, but it's the truth, in my opinion. These churches and like these religious people and stuff, cult like, they operate like a cult too when you really sit back and look at it. Y'all see them videos where like these pastors, they doing stuff like shutting the doors on the congregation. They requesting more and more money at the pass around little basket or whatever for money, ain't it? I always never felt right with that when my family had me in church as a kid. That was something else I peeped as a kid. I'm like, and I get it again, more reason. Oh, we helping out the community. We helping out the community. Pastor riding up there clean as hell. Excuse my language. Clean. And my kids sleep. I'm cutting up with cuss words, ain't it? But the pastors be riding up clean, night, big house, all that. I get it. Yeah. Oh, they preaching to the congregation. Man, y'all gotta realize too, a lot of them, if not all, they be sinners themselves. Hell, they say we all sinners. Ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of us complete human being. Do not get me wrong. Please don't think I'm perfect. Like, I don't, like, because I know people, they eventually, get big or whatever on YouTube, and people, or just even in general, right? Celebrities or whatever, right? I'm not no celebrity, but I'm just saying. They put these people on high pedestals that they look up to. And I'm not saying they horrible. That just mean they automatically a horrible person because they got a lot of money or whatever. But what I'm saying is, people, we all humans, right? People make mistakes. People got, you know what I'm saying, do stuff that's like, okay, you could have went about that a better way or whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. But the point I'm making is that we know for a fact, it's some people out here that's like, nah, bro, you're just not a good person. You doing a little too much than the average. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. A lot of them pastors be doing some messed up stuff and even some sick stuff, and then they sitting up there preaching the word of God to you. They up there being one of the biggest sinners up in there doing some stuff probably unimaginable, and they up there preaching the word of God to you, and then steady passing that collection plate around. And then mind you, all of this, a lot of this stuff be based off of interpretation. So they be, you know what I'm saying, it's how they interpret in the Bible, ain't that what they say? Y'all see on my family channel, that the channel I have with my family, we went to church. We tried to give it a try again. We tried one time, before when our oldest was younger, and each time it just don't speak to me. And when we went, this time, I think it was this year, with all of our kids or whatever. My oldest, hell, he came up out of, he had actually cried. Y'all see at some point in the video we was recording, we was talking about that stuff, and he cried. And he was just about how bad that it made him feel, being in church and hearing them, what I'm saying, talk about God and all this stuff. And it was like, and it's placing all this like stuff in you, like subconsciously, like, and make you feel this guilt and all that. The kids be knowing. I'm like, oh no, yeah, we done. Had my damn baby crying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, them churches, they be like a cult too. They having you drink this, eat this. Oh, that's the flesh of God. All that. It seems like they all be doing like the little rituals that they be saying what the witches be doing and stuff. Seems again be the same stuff. They be just calling it something different. Y'all gonna realize a lot of the stuff that they be telling us to condemn or that's bad, and the stuff they tell us that's good or to do, it be like a mirror, like the same thing. Passing that collection plate around, talking about you ain't y'all getting greedy with the collection plate, ain't it? I need $100,000. Who is that pastor? Closed the door, told him ain't nobody leaving. I need $100,000. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Y'all done lost y'all mind.
I don't care. Good afternoon, everybody. It's time to fucking learn you something. There's a lot of people who have been complaining about the fact that gasoline is not lasting them as long and it doesn't smell the way that it used to. That's because of ethanol. Stay with me here. Previously, before Wig decided to bomb Iran, normal gas, regular unleaded 83, 87, whatever the fuck the number was at your pump, the regular unleaded gas that you were getting from the gas station was about 90% gasoline and 10% ethanol. Gas has always been cut with ethanol. Why has gas always been cut with ethanol? It is because pure gasoline will fuck up your engine. Ethanol is needed to lubricate the engine and make sure this bitch don't go kaboom, okay? Since Wig decided to bomb Iran and Iran decided to close the Strait of Hormuz and we are not getting oil from over there, and the petrodollar is starting to diminish, the barrels of oil that we are getting in cost more money, companies are now cutting gasoline with even more ethanol. Why are they doing that? Because you can make gasoline at a cheaper price, but upcharge it to other people, and a lot of people are none the fucking wiser because a lot of people don't know that gasoline already contains ethanol in it. Now, cutting gasoline with ethanol does nothing to the engine, but what it does do is fuck up your car's fuel economy. What is fuel economy, you may ask? Fuel economy is how far the vehicle can go with the amount of gasoline that is in the car. Previously, gas used to be 90% gasoline, 10% ethanol. Gas is no longer 90% gasoline and 10% ethanol. We now have less gasoline and more ethanol, which means you're not going as far because there's less gas in the mixture. The takeaway from all of this is no, your gas don't last the way it used to. No, it don't smell like it used to. It's high as fuck for absolutely no fucking reason, and it's all Wig's fault.
I'm seeing a video about.
She ain't lying. Literally, before I came across this video, me and my husband was just talking about this. Not only is gas high, and I was like, dang, am I tripping? I'm like, it seemed like the gas we be burning gas. It don't last as long. They be calling you a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you tripping, you overthinking it. I made this, what's this, Thursday? So Wednesday morning, I made this compilation, right? And when I came across this video, like I said, I just watched a little tiny piece of it, right? Like a couple seconds to see like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? This is the video I want to use. And I put it in there and I wait to really just watch it for real with y'all. But the point out, because I want to give my real first raw reaction of it, right? But I'm seeing that I might need to just watch them already or something, because they be doing a lot of cursing and saying stuff that don't necessarily be YouTube friendly. But anyways, the point that I'm making is I just got done saying that to him before I came, and then I come across this was like 2-3 days ago, and I come across this video with this girl saying this. Shout out to the people that do the work, man. I'm telling you, you don't even be having, we be knowing. We be knowing. No, we ain't tripping. No, we ain't tripping. You seeing people all around the internet saying the same thing you saying. That's the good thing about the internet. We be able to connect, compare and contrast ideas, theories and stuff. And you peeping game and you saying you already peeping game, don't even realize it. And then if you listen to the people around you that may not necessarily, it don't make them a bad person, but they might not necessarily be thinking deep into it like that or peeping game necessarily. And they're like, oh, no, you overthinking and you tripping. And then you mess around and psych yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Although you feel like you know what you know and you noticing what you knowing, but then you listening to them because the majority is like, nah, depending on who you around. So you're like, oh, maybe I'm tripping. Then you hop on the internet and you see, bro, other people peeping this too, so I'm not tripping. And then boom, you get people that go and do the work. Look it up, research it, or whatever, right? Follow the little breadcrumbs, and you see you not tripping. Yeah. That gas is definitely, it don't have to be, again, they be controlling all the gas is high, it don't gotta be high, first of all. So they making more money making gas, not only making gas high, and they also make when you initially get it, but they also making more money on the back end because it don't last as long. So you have to go and get gas more often as well too. That's crazy. Just greedy. Everything about money.
How the man took plasma from his son, and then he took plasma from himself, and he gave it to his dad, who was in his 70s. And his dad remained 25 years younger with his health benefits for 6 months while taking that plasma. And then he got plasma from his son. So if adding plasma, young plasma to the body can make you younger or make the body feel if it's younger, when you donate plasma twice a month, what are you doing? You are aging and killing the body, bro. Donating plasma needs to be, I shouldn't say unlawful because we all have free will to do what we want to do, but you are literally taking away your life force liquid when you donate plasma. And I really think that dialysis is connected to this as well, but hey, this is just skeptic. This is just, you can't really talk.
This is part 3 of.
Well, what I would say to that is the only reason I don't agree with the whole it should be unlawful and all that, because like you said, nobody's forcing people to donate. And then too, you gotta also be able to step outside yourself and put yourself in other people's shoes. It helps people that may be in the hospital that need that blood to be able to save their life, right, of a specific blood type. So you never know. I would hate to be that person, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that's in that position and they don't have a system where people donate blood or, you know what I'm saying, that spare blood, I guess, as you call it, that you would be able to use, you know what I'm saying, to help save your life. So, you know, nah, I don't think it's, but you know, the little whole thing about them being 25 years younger and all that, hey, it's definitely something to that though, because they be putting it in these movies and hey, ain't that the conspiracy theory on the curb? That's another reason why these kids be going missing. One of the reasons why they be why it's believed that it is the elites. You know, the ones they call reptilians or whatever, kidnapping the kids, trying to get that young blood and all that, trying to extend that life force and all that. Who knows, man? But then again, I'm like, why you need to extend it if you just a little, I don't know, reptile or whatever, or you know, they do conscious transfers and all that, and you just can just transfer your consciousness and all that. It's just so many theories out here. I'm like, all right, now which one? But they are interesting. They're all interesting. Y'all don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Craziest conspiracies, let's get into it. We're gonna read more comments on that video and spill the tea. This person says, behind the ice wall, there is a whole different civilization studying us and watching us. I know I've talked about Antarctica so many times, but I'm gonna talk about it again for all the new followers. So, Antarctica, absolutely sus for every single freaking reason. So Admiral Byrd, he was a famous aviator in the early 1900s. He says he flew into a hole out the other end, hollow earth style, and saw lush green land, and he saw rainbow cities, just like an ancient civilization.
Godzilla movie. My oldest loves the Godzilla movie. Godzilla movie, where they get that from? I remember reading about that briefly, about that dude flying into that. Come on.
Thing. Came back, told the world. Admiral Byrd, I believe he unalived 10 years later. Right after that, 1958, NASA was created. In 1959, just a year afterwards, the Antarctic Treaty was signed. I think NASA was a shiny distraction to keep people from looking into Antarctic.
the Antarctic Treaty. So basically that treaty is where all of the nations came together to agree on one thing, and that one thing was are to be prohibited from self-exploration of certain parts of Antarctica, where
they can't agree on nothing else. Because be having wars that our loved ones, you know what I'm saying, go put their life on the line to die for, you know, all in the name of defending their country, all of that, right? And again, I don't believe these wars be about what they telling us about either. Like, oh, they trying to hurt us, so we got to protect ourselves, this. Again, they give us a more reason in the front, but in the background, that shit be about something else. That's my opinion. But they can't agree on nothing else, but they can agree on this whole Antarctica situation. Come on, y'all. Come on.
say it's just ice, right? Like if it's just ice, then what is the big deal? Obviously, it is a freezing tundra, but why, out of all the things, nations cannot come together to end world hunger. They can't come together to end a freaking war. Y'all can decide that we can't go to Antarctica. Call me a 5-year-old, but when you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it more. And the ice wall thing came into play because Admiral Byrd had an operation called Operation High Jump. And y'all know, I think everything they put in the TV has some kind of fact to it. Let's take into account Game of Thrones, winter is coming, the ice wall in Game of Thrones, and what was behind that freaking ice wall in Game of Thrones, okay? There's a whole theory about what in the world could be behind the ice wall. It could be...
I never watched Game of Thrones, but maybe I should watch it. It seemed like something I would like. My husband watched it, and he tried to watch it with me, but I kept... at that time, like when it first came out, I kept falling asleep on it or whatever, and just kind of fell off watching it with him. But it seemed like something I would be interested in. I definitely need to check out because I hear people do a lot of references to Game of Thrones when talking about certain stuff like this.
Gog and Magog, which is an ancient Jewish text, and it's also in the Quran, I believe. In the Quran, they're called Yajuj and Majuj. Basically, it's a king and a group of different kinds of species. A lot of people think it's giants, and they are waiting in the mountains, some remote area that we don't know about. Some people think that they could be Gog and Magog. Some people think that the behemoth is behind the ice wall because of the Leviathan. A lot of us believe Leviathan is still at the bottom of the ocean, which is why they were randomly detonating bombs. Animals were beaching themselves. There were ocean fires, like absolutely insane things going on in the ocean. We know that sea gigantism exists, right? So if we think about how deep the ocean is, Leviathan really could be there, but where would the behemoth? That's the
right. Then they say we only explored, if I'm not wrong, because I could be, didn't they say we only explored like so-called 5% of space that they told us is out there, up there, and about the same amount, 5% of the ocean too? If I'm not wrong, I gotta go look it up. Then I'm about to look it up right now on my phone. I'm here already. Shoot, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. About to be 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, let me see. I'm finna look it up right now. How much? Hold on. How much of the ocean have we discovered? Oh, it says so from NOAA Ocean Exploration. How much of the ocean has been explored? We can't say we've explored the seafloor until we've seen it. Well, one, they have, right? We know they have not been to the bottom of the ocean, right? Because they say it gets heavier at certain depths. It's like impossible for the technology we have right now. But it says, and explorers have seen less than 0.001%, so less than 1% of the deep ocean seafloor. And hold on, I gotta click on it. The ocean covers approximately 70% of Earth's surface. It's the largest livable space on our planet. Yes, we know that. Okay. And there's more life there than anywhere else on Earth. So hold on. I'm trying to get back to that spot. Here we go. Because I had to actually click on it to, can y'all see? Yeah. So it says that, so yeah, so that's roughly the size of Rhode Island. Okay. So how much we explored. Now, how much of space have we explored? How much? I could have sworn last time I looked it up, it was about the same though. Like 5%, but you know, like I say, you can remember stuff wrong. How much of space, you know, because they say we be out there in space. How much space have we explored? Hold on. Oh, hell, we didn't switch timelines again. I could have sworn they said we explored. No, yeah, maybe I'm tripping. 5% of space, because 5% for how vast space is, that would kind of still be. Okay, so it says we can only see 5% of the universe. So different stuff is saying different things. When astronomers say we can only see 5% of the universe, they do not mean we've only mapped a tiny fraction of space. They mean that ordinary atomic matter, the stuff that makes up stars, planets, and human bodies, makes up only 5% of the total mass and energy driving the cosmos. Okay. How big is space from NASA? He hear me talking. I'm trying to whisper. He's still sleepy, but he hear me talking, so he like, come here. I don't know, y'all. It say the invisible universe. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm whispering. It says the invisible universe, even within the space we can see. Astrophysicists estimate that normal observable matter makes up only about 5% of the total universe. The remaining 95% consists of dark matter and dark energy, which we cannot directly see or measure with current technology. Okay, so I don't know, but what up? Come on, let her get back to talking. Either way, I didn't read that, and honestly, I didn't forgot where I was about to go with this.
Land creature. So where in the world would a colossal land creature hide? Maybe behind the ice wall.
Oh, that's where I was going with it. My bad. That we have not seen the bottom of the ocean, and it's huge. We know that, right? So it is very possible that there can be a big Nessie the Loch Ness monster down there. Like, it's very possible, literally, nesting around down there or something. So who knows at this point?
Since it's lush green land. Oh my gosh, how did I only get to one? I got to one comment. Guys, I yap way too much. Just always make sure you like and follow. Comment down below if you want a part 4. I already know if you want a part 4, but what do y'all think about this whole ice wall thing?
Yeah, that's crazy. And then also too, last thing on that topic, they even say, and then we see it, right? When they show us these new little sea creatures, they say the deeper you go, the creepier the sea creatures look in the ocean. Y'all might hear my husband. He getting up. He getting ready for it.
Ask you something. When was the last time you died? No, don't look at me like that. I'm serious. Because if I told you that most of the atoms in your body right now were not there a year ago, you'd have to admit that the you from last year is gone, physically
Bless
gone.
you.
And yet here you sit, thinking you're the same person. So which is it? Are you alive, or are you the ghost of someone who already vanished? By the end of this talk, I want you to see something that most people never think about. I want you to understand what physics actually says about dying, and I think you'll find it says something quite surprising. Not comforting in the way a preacher might comfort you, but surprising in the way that only the truth can be. Let's start with something simple. Let's start with a candle. You light a candle. The flame flickers. It burns for an hour, 2 hours, and then it goes out. Now, I ask you, where did the candle go? You might say, well, it melted. But that's not really an answer, is it? The wax is mostly gone. The wick is a little stub of char. Something happened to all that stuff. Where is it? Here's where it gets beautiful. The wax was made of long chains of carbon and hydrogen atoms. When the flame burned, those atoms didn't disappear. They couldn't. They combined with oxygen from the air and floated away as carbon dioxide and water vapor. Every single atom of that candle is still out there, right now, drifting around the room or out the window, mixing into the atmosphere. The candle is gone, yes, but not one atom of it has been destroyed. Not one. This is the first law of thermodynamics, and it is one of the most fundamental facts in all of physics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can change form, it can move from one place to another, but the total amount, it stays exactly the same, always. Now, you might say, fine, Feynman, that's a nice trick with a candle. But what about me? What about a person? And this is where it gets really interesting. You are made of atoms, about 7 octillion of them, give or take. That's a 7 followed by 27 zeros. It's a number so large that if you tried to count them 1 per second, it would take you longer than the age of the universe. And those atoms, every single one of them, were here long before you were born, and every single one of them will be here long after you are gone. Let me put it another way. The carbon atoms in your muscles were once inside a star. Not poetically, not metaphorically, literally. The carbon in your body was forged in the nuclear furnace of a star that lived and died billions of years before the Earth even formed. Here's how that works. In the early universe, right after the Big Bang, there was almost nothing but hydrogen and a little helium. That's it. No carbon, no oxygen, no iron, no calcium, none of the stuff you're made of. So where did it come from? It came from stars. When a star like our sun burns, it's smashing hydrogen nuclei together to make helium. That's fusion. But in bigger stars, heavier stars, the process goes further. Helium nuclei smash together to make carbon. Carbon and helium fuse to make oxygen. And it keeps going, up through neon, silicon, all the way to iron. Layer after layer, like an onion of elements, each one cooked in a furnace hotter than the last. And then, when the star can't burn anymore, when it runs out of fuel and the core collapses, the whole thing explodes. A supernova. And in that explosion, all those elements, the carbon, the oxygen, the iron, they get flung out into space. They drift through the galaxy for millions of years. They mix with clouds of gas, and eventually they get pulled together by gravity to form new stars, new planets, and on at least one of those planets, new people. So there's a very real sense in which you are stardust. Every atom of calcium in your bones was manufactured in a dying star. The iron in your blood, same thing. The oxygen you're breathing right now was cooked up in a stellar core and scattered across the cosmos in an explosion so violent it briefly outshone an entire galaxy. Now wait. Let's be careful here. Let's think about this more slowly, because there's something even stranger going on. Those atoms that make up your body right now, they're not staying put. They're passing through you. There's a beautiful experiment, and I love this one. Scientists tagged phosphorus atoms with a radioactive marker and tracked them through the bodies of rats. What they found was remarkable. The phosphorus in the brain of a rat, and also in mine and yours, is not the same phosphorus as it was 2 weeks ago. In just 14 days, half of it has been swapped out, replaced by new phosphorus atoms from the food the rat ate. And this is not just phosphorus. This is everything. The atoms in your brain, your muscles, your skin, your bones, they are constantly being removed and replaced. You eat a potato. The atoms from that potato get broken down, carried through your blood, and built into your tissues. The old atoms get carried away, exhaled as carbon dioxide, flushed out, sweated off, given back to the world. What this means is staggering if you think about it carefully. The atoms that are in your brain right now, the ones doing the thinking, the ones processing these very words, they are not the same atoms that were there a year ago. They are, quite literally, last week's potatoes. And yet you remember what happened a year ago. You remember your childhood. You remember your name. So what is this mind of ours? What are these atoms with consciousness? I'll tell you what they are. They are a pattern, a dance. The atoms come into your brain, dance, a dance, and then go out. They're always new atoms, but always doing the same dance, remembering what the dance was yesterday. This is what you are. Not a collection of stuff, a pattern, a configuration, a way that matter has organized itself temporarily, beautifully, into something that can look up at the
My bad, y'all. I was trying to get this recording for y'all. Again, if you're a dreamer, you understand this.
Pooh fell fast asleep and began to dream.
They're far. They're near. They're gone. They're here. They're quick and slick. They're insincere. Beware. 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 Beware.
Because why is he singing the vows?
What you're about to see is not just a mountain. Look closely. Do you see it? That shape, that curve. It looks like a fossil, but not of anything we know. It looks like a dragon, something ancient, something enormous, turned to stone. At first I thought it was just a coincidence, a trick of light.
How do people even be knowing to zoom in on Google Maps, like in certain places? Is this real? And then who just sits around this? Like, I'm just gonna look on Google Maps and like see what I can find. Like, I get it. That is like something that I probably would be like, oh, let me see, but not in my life currently. Like, that's like, I don't know, somebody who has time, like a teenager that ain't got nothing but time on their hands, you know, just sitting on Google Maps all day, just trying to find stuff, scrolling around and zooming in. Like I said, how do they know? Because it looks so small, right, from certain points. So how do they know, like, to scroll around, like which point to find, and then just happen to zoom in and find something?
Natural formation. But then I opened Google Earth. I zoomed into Taiwan, north, near Taipei, far away from the noise of the city, into the deep forests, the hills, the cliffs, untouched land. Then I dropped into Street View. Everything felt normal, too normal, until I saw it again. The same shape, the same massive structure, like a spine carved into the mountain, a head frozen in place, as if something once lived there and never left. No signs, no warnings, no information anywhere, like it's been completely ignored or hidden. So tell me, is this just a mountain, or are we looking at something that was never meant to be discovered?
I don't know. Do y'all believe that one?
People, wake up. All this money circulates in order for you to give it your precious energy. See, money's value is backed by labor. Without you in the mix, money has no meaning. The fact is, money is nothing but the product of a regular printing press. Anybody, anywhere, could print their own money. Of course, it will not be backed by the collective unconscious, but by an individual. You were divided so that they may rule. Money's common property, sure, but yours is yours and mine is mine, right?
No, this isn't about NASA's recent endeavor. This is something far greater. Not too long ago, a 16-year-old boy stunned NASA and captured one of the clearest pictures.
Okay, I'm gonna let him finish this. But when I looked this up on Google, this is one of the ones that I did look up. When I looked this up on Google, it said that it wasn't a 16-year-old boy. This is true about the moon, right? What he's saying about it rusting and all of that, but it wasn't a 16-year-old boy who discovered it. So I don't know where he got that point from. I couldn't find it.
Of the moon we have. But he discovered something incredible. He noticed that the moon was already rusting. And scientists later confirmed that the moon is indeed rusting, driven by oxygen escaping from Earth's atmosphere. This iron oxide, or hematite, is formed on the lunar surface. Remember that word hematite. Now, if you go to Acts 2 verse 20, it says the sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the great and remarkable day of the Lord comes. Okay, so hold up. So the scientists say that the rusting on the moon is hematite. And in the New Testament, in the book of Acts, it tells us that the moon will turn into blood in the last days. And the New Testament was written in Greek. So if you look up what blood means in Greek, hematite. This name is derived from hema, meaning blood. So the moral of the story? Give your life to Jesus because he's coming back soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this simple because the shit is annoying as fuck. What he just displayed is not gravity, it's called buoyancy. If something is heavier than water, it sinks to the bottom of it. If something is lighter than water, it floats at the top. The same thing happens with air. If something is heavier than air, it drops to the bottom of the air till it hits something.
Ah, so is he saying if something is light, like Go ahead.
And if something is lighter than air,
I was just about to say like a balloon. I was about to say like a balloon. I promise. I was about to say like a balloon. I was like, nope, let him go on do his thing. I didn't know he was gonna say that. Like I say, y'all, I just watched literally when I say a tiny snippet, just see if I want to add it in there. I just to see like what they talking about. It'd be like maybe like 3, 4, 5 seconds of it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going. That's why I'm putting it in there. See, hold on.
it floats up. That could not happen if there was a force so powerful that it was also holding oceans to the bottom of a ball.
Hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about that last one. Some people may be like, oh, that's dumb, that don't make sense. But hey, if a scientist said it, it'll make a lot of sense. If a scientist said it, it will make a lot of sense. Okay? To y'all, y'all probably telling y'all they can say anything, they'll believe it, right? But yeah, that is it. That is it for today's live, because it is 6 o'clock in the morning. I already hopped on here with y'all around like 2 something in the morning. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, this the longest we didn't rocked out together. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it is the longest we done rocked out together. So, and I be talking, so the video goes even longer. It says I've been on here for about 3 hours, 48 minutes. 48 minutes, y'all. 3 hours, 48 minutes. But let me go ahead and hop off here because it's about time for me to go ahead and get my day started. I'm about to go take my, morning shower or whatever, get breakfast ready and stuff. So y'all let me know what y'all think about these videos. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how your day went yesterday or Wednesday, because this is technically our Wednesday. And I hope y'all have a good day today. These are some pretty interesting videos. Like I said, these just random little, conspiracy theory TikToks that I came across, and snipped them, clipped them up together for y'all, compiled them together and came over here and watched them with y'all or whatever, right? See what y'all think, what's going on. Y'all know I done clearly gave my thoughts on it. But again, don't forget, y'all, we gonna get into a little bit of everything over here. I have, all these different interesting things, thoughts, ideas, and opinions, and I'm over here on my channel to give it, So we post Monday through Friday, and for specific uploads, you can either check the description section, and sometimes I put it in the comment section as well too. You know what I'm saying, if I remember. But for sure, it's always going to be in the description the description section. But yeah, y'all